Okay,
Okay.
what I want to discuss is two areas of your game. Okay, I haven't seen you that much, and I can't tell if these are bad habits you have, or if it's literally just like a lack of understanding, or if it's a one-time thing, right? But I'm still gonna discuss the things that I see you do wrong. Okay.
Okay.
When it comes to top lane, first thing you need to know is that it's a 1v1 role, but actually it's a 2v2 role, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because
Jungle.
every decision you make in top is based around the junglers. Okay.
Yes.
Now, when you decide to, let's say you get priority in the early game. Actually, I have a question. How many games do you get priority as Master Yi?
At what point?
Level 1, like the first 2 waves.
Oh, like every game.
Every game, right? Okay. So
Yeah,
how do
every
you
game.
decide what to, like, you have a couple options with the wave, right? You can let it push back towards you. You can push the wave back into them. For example, there's a trick where you take the mean aggro here and you drag one mean to this side of the lane, and then you restart like the slow push process, right? So this is wave 3 right here, and then you slow push this wave, hard push next, and then you recall, for example, or you dive them. So how do you decide between doing that and letting the wave push back towards you and freeze, right? How do you decide that?
Yeah. So like with that grabbing the one minion, I actually saw that in the YouTube video the other day, but I haven't had an opportunity to really test that yet. But it sounds like it'd be fun. But usually, the way that lane goes, it depends on what we're playing against. But a lot of the laners just kind of play completely passively into me. I mean, if they don't play passively into me, I get first blood, right?
Yeah, like you can dive them from
but-
like 80% health, right?
Yeah. So like typically they just sit on a Doran shield and they sit under tower and they just kind of wait for me, right? So what ends up happening for me in most of my games, and I'm still experimenting with this, is that I will hit the wave. Like I'll walk up to the wave to start. I'll hit the wave one time. I'll hit the minion one time, so that I have one minion that's always gonna die first, right?
Yeah.
Now this video might not show up, but this is kind of what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So I'll hit one minion so I can see it, right? In this case, AATROX kind of came in hot. Okay, this game, this one.
No,
looks a
you
little
go ahead.
fucking
You can keep explaining.
great. But yeah, so I'll hit one, so I get the minion, so that if it's a champion that I would want to push into that might fight me back, like ZAAHEN or whatever, right? I already have one auto up on him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
And at the same time, it also makes it so that I can also last hit that minion because all the minions are kind of randomly hitting this minion, this minion, this minion.
Yeah, exactly.
So I always have one that I can hit, right?
Yeah.
And then usually what happens is I have to, if they walk up, I will just alpha strike, irregardless of whether I get that minion or not, right?
Yeah,
because I only hit it once anyway, right? So alpha strike, I'll hit him like for 300 HP, right? And then that kind of determines if I can dive, right? So he's like sitting under tower here. I don't even know if I fucking dive this. Oh yeah, I do. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So that'll determine if I can dive or not. And if I can't dive, usually if I can't dive, it gets kind of sussy for me, because then I'm down like 3 CS usually. Well, I'm still up on them, but I gave up the 3 CS, and the melees are pretty powerful, right? But if I can get that damage, then it's really easy for me to kind of take control of the lane, because HP is a resource. I have higher HP, they can't bully me out of it. So I let the wave crash in with 2 waves. If I can't dive them, I walk down, I put a ward in the tri-bush, to get some vision for the jungler. Maybe the jungler is going to try to level 3 cheese me, level 2 cheese me. I've had that happen a lot, right? And then I'll go back up and I'll let the wave like shove back into me, right? And then that way, when the jungler is going for crab, I'm under my tower. This almost always happens, right? I'm under my tower when they go for crab, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think
You mean you're under your tower when the enemy jungler goes for crab, or?
Yeah, I'm usually under my tower when the enemy jungler goes for crab, because my top laner literally never plays top side. I don't think I've ever had a top laner play top. Okay, it happens.
You mean your jungler doesn't come top, right?
Yeah, my jungler, I'm always weak side.
Okay,
Almost always
so
weak side.
essentially,
like, even in that game, I'm probably weak side.
Yeah, okay, so essentially this is how top lane has 4 different jungle configurations, okay? You have strong side, which you probably know, right? You have weak side, probably familiar with this too. You have 2v2, and you have isolation, okay? Now, strong side obviously is when your jungler is pathing towards you, and enemy jungler is opposite, and then weak side is the opposite of that, right? So it's like this. The full clearing. 2v2 is when they're both pathing towards top. Isolation is when they're both pathing away from top, okay? Now, the thing is, if you get prio in your matchup, let's say AATROX plays properly, he sits at 100% health under his turret, just soaking XP.
Yeah.
You can't dive him, right? So what do you do with the wave?
Yeah.
Well, let's say you're strong side, okay? What do you do with the wave? Well, in my opinion, the best thing to do is to let the wave push back to you, because by the time your jungler does 6 or 7 camps, the wave is frozen, and now you can look to get a free kill, and if AATROX respects, he will still lose a lot of XP, so it's a win-win scenario. Does that make sense?
Okay, but the question about that is, like, what happens when your jungler So, you know, if you're playing strong side like that, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that isolation was them going away from you. I usually play either weak side or isolation. But so in that case, let's say your jungler comes up, right? So you know he does all the camps, because I did a lot of jungling, right? So I know all about the jungle shit.
Yeah.
So the jungler comes up and he usually wants to just go for crab, right?
Sure.
That's usually he's passing
Yes.
towards the crab.
Yes.
And then what happens is if we are doing a 2v2, right?
2v2.
It
No,
usually
this
ends
is,
up.
This is strong side.
Yeah.
This is strong side, not 2v2.
Oh, this is strong side. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
okay,
saying
okay. Let's
what
focus
happens
on.
if you're strong
Okay,
side.
yeah.
We're gonna get to the 2v2. We're gonna get there.
Okay, so he goes top side. So I don't need to worry about contesting the crab because AATROX won't go down and try to fight him without his jungler.
Right.
So
yeah.
So yeah, okay, I can see freezing there is okay. Yeah, actually looking at these 4 different wave states, I never really thought. I only thought of 2 of them. Strong side is where my jungler helps me. Weak side is where I get fucked by the enemy jungler.
Sure. Okay.
But
sure.
But now I see it.
Okay. Let me finish the point. So this is what you do when you're strong side. Okay. Second, weak side. What do you do when you're weak side? Well, your jungler's pathing away from you, enemy jungler's coming towards you. What do you do with the wave? If you have early prio, you get to decide, right? You can either let the wave come back to you, or you let the wave, you push it back into them, or whatever. You can maybe even like 2 camps into invade, right? You can maybe invade enemy jungler on red buff if the jungler is weak enough, right? That's something you can do some games. Okay, when you're weak side, you want to push the wave, let the wave push back to you, and you can catch it safely under tower. And if you take too much damage, you might get dived, right? That's a problem.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, if you survive this situation, 60% of the time, your jungler will get some kind of lead on bots, right? The enemy bot lane. It's basically a battle between who can play better weak side, enemy bot lane, or you, right? It's a battle. And here's the thing: League of Legends, the hand you're dealt every game is based on random factors, but you can sometimes influence it by asking your jungler to path towards you, for example. But the hand you're dealt, you have to play according to that. You can't really change some things. But basically, and then you have the 2v2 scenario, right? Which is both junglers are pathing towards top. Now, in this case, both the junglers want crab, right? This is a bit of a tricky one because sometimes the enemy jungler is like a very weak champ early, so you can still do the freeze and then you 2v2 on the freeze, but it's hard. Often though, what you want to do is you want to do a 2-wave crash, and then you want to pull the minion in that, the video you saw. You pull the minion, and then you kind of want to just hard shove wave 3, because, if you pull that minion, you kill it. You only need 1 more creep for level 3. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the level up timers. But the first 2 melees on wave 3, you get level 3, right? You level up to level 3. And the enemy top can't really contest you usually, so you shove wave 3. Wave 4 will meet dead in the middle. So now you have a situation where if the enemy jungler contests crab, you can move first, because if you position properly around the river here, you can move first and take the 2v2, secure the crab, etc. And then you don't have this awkward situation where you have a freeze and it's hard to contest. The wave is just in the middle. It's completely fine. You can slow push into hard push into recall, and then you can spend like 700 gold. Okay, that's a 2v2 situation essentially. And then isolation is just whatever, right? Both junglers pathing towards bot lane. Now you have to just play your lane however you want it. Okay. The point here I'm trying to make is that you see how per jungle track, per jungle situation, there's a different decision-making process when it comes to your wave state. In some games, you let it push towards you, etc. Okay? Now, do you see the issue in this game, for example? And let me grab the other one too, right? Never mind. Let's just look at this one. Okay. What is the problem?
Okay.
Like, you already made a mistake this game, and I need you to spot it.
Okay, you mean like right now? At this point?
Now, there has been a massive mistake.
Okay, so, I mean, you mean in regards to the junglers?
Yes.
Okay, so we know Lee Sin's gonna path up towards top.
Yes.
But do we know where the enemy jungler is starting? Did we get any of that info early?
Well, no, we didn't. We didn't.
So, like, are you wanting me to like try to ward a camp to see where the jungler is?
Okay, so let me explain the dilemma. Okay, after you crash the wave here, let's say you crash the wave. Okay. Let's say AATROX is full HP, which is he should be, right? Because that's the proper way to play. We're gonna play around that idea, right?
Yeah.
You can't dive him. So what do you do with the wave right now? What did we say before? If you're strong side, you do X. If you're weak side, you do X. If you do isolation, you do X. If you do 2v2, you do X. So what decision do you make?
Okay.
Right now?
Okay, wait. So I'm assuming you want me to grab the minion and pull it out to the middle of the wave, right?
Yes. Well, no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you don't know what to do because you don't know what situation you're in. Does that make sense? If Kha'Zix was pathing towards bot, you would need to let the wave push back to you.
Okay.
If Kha'Zix was pathing towards top, then you would do something else because you need to contest the crab, right? Okay, so how do you know which one to do?
You ask your mid laner at the beginning of the game to ward the raptors like she should be doing, but she never does.
Okay, but here's the thing with this mentality. She never does, you know? Broski, you have to ask her to do it.
I know the meme.
Okay, you have to ask him to do it.
I used to ask when I was the jungler myself.
Yes.
I used to ask for the thing.
Okay.
But now as a top laner, I'm just like, I don't care about anybody in the top laner.
Okay, but
I get it.
You don't care because you didn't really understand why you should care.
Yeah.
But now you understand, right? And then here's the thing. When you know where the enemy jungler is starting, let's say you see him start Raptors. Logically, people do Raptors into Krogs into red. Sometimes they do Raptors red into Krogs. And then, well, usually they go into top lane because this would be an inefficient pathing if they weren't go to top lane, right? Why would you do this into top? Why would you this and then go to Wolves? It doesn't make sense. So if you see Kha'Zix start on Raptors, you can assume that diving him is hard because by the time you look for the dive, he's going to be there. Right?
Yeah. So like I had a little phase where I was like trying to ward the enemy red and then their Krugs, right?
Yeah.
But
well, then you're gonna be
what
late
ends
to
up
lane.
happening is, yeah, one, you're either late to lane. If you go early, you're not late to lane. But two, like they're always randomly sitting on that buff, and then you have 3 people in your face and you die.
Yeah, you die, exactly. So this is why you don't want to ward yourself, okay? You don't want to use your own ward. It's really bad because of, you know, if you ward, you get chunked, you're late to wave, or someone sits in the bush and cheeses you, etc., right? You don't want to use your own ward. This is why we ask our mid laner to ward. Also, when you play Master Yi, often it's going to be very volatile lane, so you want to ward before the lane even starts, right? You might want to ward Tribush right now and then go to your, or even before the wave hits the middle, okay? So that's the first thing. So from now on, you need to ask your mid laner every game, and this takes some energy, it takes some effort, but effort is what wins games, right? You need to ask your mid laner to ward Raptors for you starting every game, okay? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Now,
can I? I want to answer somebody in my chat. He says, "What happens if they don't ward even if you ask?" And I want to tell him they won't ward every time, but you increase your win rate by asking them every game.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
they won't ward every time. But you should ask them and ping. You should spam ping. What I do is I ping the bottom left in the ping wheel. It's asking for ward. And then I ping my mid laner's ward. Like I press tab, pinger, trinket. And 80% of the time they ward. And if they don't, well, some games, it doesn't matter if you're late. Some games they can't cheese you. So you can just face check the buff. And even if you're late, it doesn't matter. But in some games, yeah, it does matter if you're late. For example, against ZAAHEN, you can't be late. So then you have to use your own ward.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you just play differently. But okay, that's the essence of it.
What happens if you don't have the vision? You don't, like, there's a confused state, like a fifth state where you don't know what the enemy is doing.
Right. Well, then you play in a way where you assume the worst. You basically just assume the worst pathing. So what would be the worst that they're pathing towards you, right? So then you play around that idea. But then you'll quickly notice that, hey, I could have gotten so much more out of this matchup if only I just warded, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big problem. Okay. Is that clear to you? Do you have any more questions?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna move on.
100%. Yeah, it's just like jungling. I get it.
Okay. And the other thing I wanted to say is, holy moly, I watched this VOD. You're smurfing, okay? You're smurfing, but bro, you are inting so hard as well. Like, it is crazy. Like, you're inting so hard. Okay, so here you dive this guy, you kill the jungler. That's really insane. It's a little bit of an inconsistent play, I would say, because you didn't know where he started. Like, you could have just died to the Kha'Zix too, but I would say it's worth. Okay, we're gonna fast forward here. You catching the wave is really good, okay? Like, catching the wave here, you know, just respecting him, and now you're also catching it really slow, which I like, because then the wave is going to meet very close to your side. These are things you're doing really well, and for a, you know, I'm not sure how many games you played top lane so far, but these are really good things. And then you zoning in from XP here is chef's kiss, okay? Like, this is perfect. A lot of people will just walk in XP range, and you just get a trade, and you can dive them. You know, this is really, really good. So dropping some farm here to get this trade here, very, very nice. You end up getting the trade. And then you crash the wave. Okay, so this guy lost a lot. Now, if you knew...
Okay, I got gritty here.
Right, if you knew where Kha'Zix started, you would know where in the order his camps respawn. Okay, you know now his camps respawn in this order, right?
Yeah, he started red though, right? He did 3 camps in the top.
Yeah, and then he went... what did he do actually? Yeah, he started red. Yeah, he started... Okay, so then you know at minute 4, so at 4 minutes 20, the camps respawn, right? So usually around this until 5:20, they're gonna be topside, and then they're gonna piss off again, right? Usually.
Okay, wait. So what is the timer? I know I'm a jungler, and this is embarrassing to ask, but what is the timer when they return to the side that they started in? 4:20 to 5:20.
Good question. So the first full clear is usually 3 minutes 20, and then the first respawn timer is 4 minutes 20. Okay, so if they started bot and path towards top, I'm not sure what happened because it doesn't matter. Kazik started top side, we assume that. Okay.
Yeah.
So here, Kazik started top, so therefore, at 4 minutes 20, his camps respawn. Usually he's gonna stick around till maybe 5:20 is like the max, I would say, if you had to guess. So right now, I would say he's still around Krogs, and he might be crossing to bot lane soon. Okay.
Yeah, but then he sees me playing aggressively, so now his idea is like, oh, let me just pivot the top.
Exactly.
If
he can
sees
be
me, like,
here,
behind
and
the
then he
tower.
sees you walking up, and he's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
pivot.
and then he changes his path.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing is, this could be, you could understand this really well, but if you understand it, it's not enough. You need to also implement it into your mental stack.
Yeah.
And the idea of a mental stack is like, there's only an X amount of things you can think about in a game, right? Like you think about the objective, your items, the how to trade, etc. You don't have this infinite space in your head. You need to add tracking the enemy jungler into your mental stack, right? If you know that the first camp respawn is 420, the second camp, the second one is 420, and then it's 620, and then 720, etc. These are all things you have to keep track of. So now you would look at the clock, right? You look at the clock and you look at the mini map. Okay, we don't see Kha'Zix, it's 520. Let's assume that he's here, and you have 2 kills, right? If you want to carry games, yeah, here's the thing. If you want to carry games, you must play according to what the enemy jungler does. If the enemy jungler says you're not allowed to play the game and you go stop the entire game, you have to respect, even though you're ahead. And it feels bad, but look at what's happening on the map. You're getting Drake for free.
Yeah. We're winning. Yeah,
so
we're winning.
what is your job? And this is the thing about top lane. You have a dynamic job. It always changes. Like, what is your job right now? Your job is to not do anything, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, for this situation, there was a little bit of like greed trying to like clip farm for a YouTube short there. Like, oh, imagine how fucking cool it'd be to show me just diving in between his towers and free. But 100% I agree, this is a really bad play, and if I just play safe, let my team do their thing, I would be much better off.
Yes. Okay. So here's the thing,
I don't know
right?
where Kha'Zix is.
I think if you want to clip farm, it's completely fine as long as you can acknowledge that you're making this mistake for that reason. I'm fine with it. But then you also have to acknowledge that you might not climb as much because you're clip farming, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
As long as you agree on that, that's fine. So this was the first time you kind of threw and this is the thing, right? When you're I'm gonna draw a little graph real quick, okay? If this is power and this is time, right? And let's say the yellow line is the enemy team, okay? And they're, you can clearly see if the blue line is your team, the enemy team is ahead right now, right? If this is like the state of the game right now, right? This is, they're a lot more strong, and the blue line is your team, they're behind, okay? The game state would probably look like something like this, right? Enemy have 20 kills, you have 10 kills, right? Okay, if you're the black line, if you respect every gank, if you just keep onto your lead, you'll be like this in the game, okay? So even though your team is behind, collectively, you're stronger than everyone else. And here's the thing about Mastery, okay? The nice thing about Mastery, and this is why I think Mastery has so much potential, is because you have 2 different win conditions. You can split push if you're really far ahead, which is not many champs can do that. I can name a handful of champs. You have Fiora, you have sometimes Camille, sometimes Gwen. That's it, honestly, So...
And you beat all of them.
Right. So if you're really ahead, and this is the thing, you need to hold on to your lead, because if you never drop your lead from now until 30 minutes into the game, you're going to have 3 items while AATROX has 1.5, And then you have this win condition. And here's the thing, League is going to give you random hands, just like poker, right? The enemy team might be strong this game, they might not. It's completely random. Like, you can't impact your bot lane winning or not. But if you're losing the game, let's say you're 5 kills to 20, and that graph I just showed, you're ahead of everyone else. If the enemies want to play Drake, and you can just dive AATROX under the tier 2, what does that mean? That means enemy needs to send 2 or 3 people to stop you. If you synchronize your pressure on the top tower with the Drake, so you synchronize them, right? So Drake spawned at the same time you're hitting the tower. Now the enemies have to make a choice. Do they drop tier 2 or do they contest Drake? If they all come to you, your team gets Drake. If no one comes top, you kill the enemy top laner and take their tower and maybe even continue, right? This is why Mastery is so nice. So you're preparing for this moment into the game. Opposite of that, if you're 20 kills to 5, what does this mean, right? This means that you win every 5v5. So now your win condition is just simply to group on every single objective, because why not? The goal in League is to get Nash, and with Nash you end games, right? So now you can just push one wave, move to objectives, win the game that way. This is why in Mastery is so nice. You have multiple win conditions, and some champs like AATROX, they can only really, play team fights. They can't split push. So the reason I'm telling you this is because if you understand this, you also know that, hey, if the enemy jungler is playing to stop me and I'm already ahead, I just need to hold on to my lead. My job is just to not die. And now if I just respect every gank, at some point mid game comes, I'm still going to be super strong, and now I have this win condition. Does that make sense? So when...
Yeah, like when I play a game and I'm behind and the enemy does not want to give up that lead or a bounty, it feels really bad. But the moment they give up that bounty, the morale in the team improves a lot, right? So if you do the same to the enemy, where you just don't give them that lead, and I try to be mindful of that, but sometimes it slips between the cracks.
Yeah. I think it's good if you're mindful of that. And the thing that separates like master from GM players is literally this, like the ability to understand the bigger picture, and the ability to like respect certain gank angles and not have like random deaths, because most deaths, if you really review them, they're pretty most deaths are not like outplays, they're like ganks and random deaths, right? And they're avoidable essentially. So my question is here, before you do this dive, okay, this might be like another one of the clip farm thingies, which okay, fine, let's be fine with that. Look at your lead. 8 kills to 8 levels to 5. Holy moly, this guy cannot play the game. Okay, what is the only way you lose this game right now, or lose your lead?
Do I have a bounty?
I don't care if you have a bounty. You have a 3-level lead.
I mean, okay. I mean, I look at the situation, and what I'm feeling right now is like that motherfucker's gotta die. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
That fucker's gotta die.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I think this is another case. There's 2 things I think of. Is one, I really want to dive him, and 2, where the fuck is their jungler, right?
Okay.
It's a battle of 2 fucking horses, and the horse that wants to dive is gonna win. I can guarantee it.
Okay. So here's my thing, right? So if you don't change his mindset, I'm sorry, but you're not gonna climb, because if you're like really focused on just getting kills, just kill, everything I just said is just in the gutter then. Because if Kha'Zix kills you, even if you don't have a bounty, you're still gonna be dead for 30 seconds. You're not gonna get any gold, any resources, and like the more levels you have on someone, the more XP they get, right? It's like catch up XP and stuff. So here, if you dive this guy not knowing where Kha'Zix is, it's an inconsistent decision, because even if you live in 5 out of 10 games, you will die to the Kha'Zix and you lose a lot.
I want to point something out here as well. I don't know, because I didn't see ahead. Can you skip back like 10 seconds?
Yeah.
And a little bit more. Okay, so the enemy bot lane is resetting, and we have no vision of the support, and the grubs just spawned, so we're going to have support and jungle on top side here.
Yes. So should you dive? The answer is no. Why not?
No.
Because why would you play such a high risk?
Look at that wave, though. Look at it.
Well, unlucky. Look at bot lane. Look at Ashe. Look at the wave Ashe is missing. Look at that.
Where the fuck is their support? Where's their jungler?
Yeah.
Am I gonna kill him and then die for this? I don't remember this game, but I feel like I'm gonna kill him. And
you
die.
do kill him. You do die for it, I think. But here's my point, right? I said at the start, when you're weak side, and weak side can be at 8 minutes into the game, it's a battle between who can play better weak side, you or enemy bot. Did enemy bot lane play a good weak side just now?
No.
Okay, are you gonna play good weak side? Hopefully yes. I hope the answer is yes here. I hope the answer is yes.
I did better than them, but probably not.
You end up dying to the... Well, I mean, even if you don't die, Kha'Zix comes.
Okay, it was just... You know what? That was worth.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not worth. It's not worth. No, it's not. Kha'Zix gets this entire wave. Listen, brother. Kha'Zix gets this entire wave. He gets a lot of XP for killing you. And there's a world where Kha'Zix gets the kill too and gets the XP. Now the Kha'Zix is gonna 1v9 the game. Look at your team comp.
Yeah, I thought about that a lot whenever you feed your jungler. So like I try to look at it whenever a jungler runs away with a game, and I say, did I give that jungler an early kill on that allowed him to run away? Because it's easy to say I only gave him 1 kill.
Yeah, that's cope.
Like 9, right?
that's cope.
That one kill. That one kills a pair of boots, which gets him to bot lane, which gets him a double, right?
Yes, or like a longsword, and he wins the 1v1 on crab by 10 HP. It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if you want to get consistent decisions, don't look at the hindsight of it. Look at the foresight of it, right? Right now, you don't see anyone. You don't make this play, period. And now, if you add the presence of mind, you could, for example, say, I'm giving this, but I'm going to contest grubs because AATROX can't move to grubs. He can't contest me. So now you can, for example, just chill around grubs. If you see enemy support go mid and the enemy jungle, the Kha'Zix just eat over the wall, he's dead. and then you deny the grubs, you might even get a grub, and then the game is won because you got Drake, bot kill, plates, grubs, and nothing happened top. Game is GG from this point on.
Yeah, and my jungler did the bot side. So, I mean, I think in this situation, again, I think this is purely clip flurry. I'm not making excuses for myself. I think that's literally what's happening here.
Sure.
And I think that if from a winning perspective, I should have looked and say, okay, support's gone. This is something I should really know. Is like support's gone. They're going to put full prio on the grubs. I'm weak side here. The jungler is Mia, right? We don't even know if he took any of his bot side camps top. We have nothing. So 100% if I dive this, I'm fucked, right? Like, he's fucked, but I'm fucked more.
Well, yeah, sure. We can agree on that, sure. Okay, and from this point, like, look, you have your Bork. Now you're really strong. You're gonna slow push this wave and then hard push next. So Drake is gonna spawn here, right? Okay, where's Kha'Zix? You don't know that. You don't know where Kha'Zix is. So here you ward. Okay, this is really good. You ward before you play aggressively. This is good.
Is it wrong to assume that he's probably bot side? I mean, I can't know for sure because who knows. Because he could have went to because he was just on the grub side, so I'm assuming that he did all of his top camps.
Yeah, that's fair to right? That's fair to assume.
Yeah, and then we got a ward there.
Yeah, that's fair to assume. Okay.
Man, look at that wave, bro. I know what's happening here.
Yeah. I mean, I think you tried to dive in, but you took aggro a bit too early. But I'm not gonna look at mistakes like that. You know, it's about the intention.
Okay. Yeah. Just micro shit.
Yeah. So you go back top, and now Kha'Zix was just bot side, so he hasn't been showing for a while.
His camps are spawning top. Yeah.
Right. So listen, we don't have to review this because I think this is just a repetition of the previous mistake, right? Like it's just the same mistake.
Yeah.
And now, but I want to point out how big you get punished for it this time. And now you're level 9 to level 8, and the lead is gonna get smaller and smaller. Kha'Zix is level 10.
Yeah.
Holy moly, he's very fed right now. And well, yeah. So this is the first mistake that I see in your early laning phase. Okay. This was one last thing that I wanted. This is like separate from jungle tracking, right? This is a different type of mistake. So right now, you shoved your wave in, but he's not diveable. So this is like a play you default to sometimes, which I get. So when you move to mid, I want you to think about it in terms of like proximity, okay? Right now, when you're in this area, you're close to both mid and top, which is very strong. It's a very strong position to be in because you can pivot, okay? So based on what Sion does, based on which ability he uses, if he's posturing aggressively or not, and stuff like that, you can commit your move, but you need to realize that by committing here, you're losing this. And by committing here, you're losing this, right? So that's why you want to be in between, because we're waiting for the play to develop.
The best play, yeah.
Right. So the problem I see is like you have a lack of camera control. You're focusing on your champion. You also have a lack of pinging. This is very common, okay? Pinging your intention is really good because your team doesn't know your intention. And if you make it clear, they're all collectively going onto the same play, which right now, I mean, killing the Sion, he has a shutdown of 100 gold. If you ping that you want to make this play, your jungler could move instantly, right? Instead of doing some random stuff. And you could see, like, okay, he's Q just now, I'm going to spam ping on my way. Maybe Seraphine walks up and baits him, stuff like that, right? And now the play is dead because, well, he just walks away. So here, okay, well, he kind of walks up, but like, he has his Q. For example, if you knew he had his Q right now and you use your camera control, you would walk back top because there's no way you ever kill him. And there's no wave, right? And now by doing this play, you effectively, I mean, this is GG essentially, right? It's very forced. And now you lost your entire lead. You died a couple times. AATROX gets the full tower top. You lose like 2 waves. And remember what I said earlier, right? The nice thing about Mastery is even if your team loses, if we have this graph and you're above the enemy team, this is you're still capable of carrying the game because anytime the enemies go for the objective, you literally go opposite of the objective. So if it's Nash, you go bot. If it's Drake, you go top, right? And then you have this threat of diving them. If they send 2 people, what does that mean for your team? That means they're 4v3, right? If they're 2v1ing you, that means your team is 4v3. So now they can get an objective. So this is the thing. You need to hold on to your lead more. You need to have this mindset of I'm holding on to my lead for mid-late game. That's your mindset from now on, if you have a lead. Okay? And so this is where I want to like kind of bridge over to the next game, which you just played, okay? This is like a good little segue. By the way, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was going to ask that if you could watch a game that I just played that isn't a YouTube game, because when I get into the YouTube game, I'm like, I got to kill him again and again and again and again to make it look good, right? So if it's a game where I'm not doing it like that, we can see more what I would naturally do, right? If I don't get that level 1 kill, then I'm like, okay.
That's fine. And well, do you have any questions so far? Because we're gonna go into this game that you just played.
No, it was fine. Everything you said made sense.
Okay, perfect. So in this game, it's 10 to 11, and you're strong on side. And I'm pretty sure right now you have your spike. He doesn't. this is the moment in the game where most people were just gonna sit on a tower, respect you because you're so strong, and then you can't effectively get a lead, right? So we're gonna have to find ways to get fed that's not killing him, and that usually involves doing things like jungle camps, looking for roam kills, looking for plates, etc. Right? So right now you have Titanic, so you can proxy. So here, what I want to see is, since this guy's respecting you so much, you just walk around the wave and proxy. Okay, that's what you do. Very nice. Let me speed up a little bit, if I can. Okay, it's a live stream. I can't. So you take the wave. You didn't see Nidalee. So when you proxy here, okay, Nidalee is bot. Okay, after proxy, we're gonna have to base because she can probably come top, right? So now, after proxying, you have 800 gold. Again, I want you to use your camera to see what, how much HP does Azir have. We don't know that. Pretty sure you didn't check. But doing an extra proxy here is wrong. Why? Why do you think that is?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because I don't know the entire wave state. But from what I can see here, her bot camps are gone, and she's probably coming top.
Okay, and that's the first reason. The second reason is Azir can also move top, right? Because he just shoved the wave. So if you do another proxy,
and we don't know how much HP he has because I didn't look at him. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why I didn't look at him, but looking at it, yeah, I definitely did not.
Yeah, so that's like, that's the thing about coaching. I can point out bad habits that you might not realize, right? Like the lack of camera control. That's a bad habit you have. You can fix that by being more mindful of it and, making that a goal for yourself. Oh, this week I'm gonna focus on, looking at every objective before I move there. That's a pretty good goal to have, because in the long run that will help you a lot, making better quality decisions, The problem here is, okay, you do an extra proxy. Now, the thing about proxying is it gives you a free reset, because when you proxy wave and base, you don't lose anything by, normally you would base, come back, you'd lose like 2 milli creeps, right? And then the enemy also have like a free move because they crashed the wave. But if you proxy, come back, now you have like, none of that happens. But here, you have 800 gold. Just reset, man. Just reset. Like, it's again about the jungler, look at where the jungler is. They're not showing, assume they're here. So now you lose your ult, and now you don't have it for the objective.
Yeah, I thought about that. When that happened, I was like, okay, I just burned my ulti, and now, even though I survived, and, a lot of people would say, that's good, nice, I got the wave. But when the objective comes up, my ulti's down for a good, like, 17, 27 seconds or something like that.
Yes, and now the other problem is, okay, you did get the proxy, so, okay, you lost your ult for it, but you did get it. But you don't reset. And you're so low, you have half mana, half HP, maybe you can W, but you have 1,000 gold. So now, imagine if you want to reset now, right, after this wave. If you reset now, you can still do it, but then, there's a world where the enemies start, I mean, it's going to be close. But anyway, you don't reset now as well, and this is the problem for me. You should be resetting and be ready to play the objective and spend your gold.
I think the issue, I mean, I agree that, I think what would have solved all these issues is I just reset on the first one, like you said, right?
Yes, but you have 2 opportunities to fix it.
Well, I think that the second one, the reason why I didn't reset is I thought maybe the jungler would follow me. So I wanted to get as much distance as I could, so I didn't randomly give a kill. But that should have never happened to begin with. Or maybe did I get ganked? Was I ganked by somebody or something like that? Yeah, the jungler. Yeah. So I thought the jungler would continue to follow me down because the crab's up, and she would try to take the crab before she gets to Rift Herald. So I wanted to make sure I was good. But then we saw her here, right? I mean, maybe I could have reset here, but
I think you should have. But it's valid that you want to play for the crab, sure. But then after this wave here, you should 100% reset. You got the wave in, objective is spawning, 1,100 gold. Now you move down to river and then you go back top. And now you're lane locked because you're low. You can't spend your gold. This guy will just get priority, and you're just lane locked. And even though you should be winning right now, you're not winning because you can install cheats and give yourself 1 billion gold. If you don't spend that gold, what does it matter, right? That's like a pretty logical argument, right? So here you should reset, and now it's awkward. Look how long you're like not playing the game. And normally you should be stomping this guy. Normally you're pushing waves, you're proxying, you're getting deep vision, you're pressuring mid, you're doing all these things. You're like, this is a sequence. You can push a wave, proxy, take this, assuming you see the jungler bot, right? Take this, go back to proxy, reset. You get like extra 400 gold based on that. Now you're just sitting on a tower, doing nothing, which is a pretty big problem. Okay, so now you finally get your base off. And then during your base, now the enemies were fighting the Herald, which you should have been able to match it. Of course, your jungler died and stuff. But let's say he didn't die or in a different game. Then it's a problem that you didn't reset, right? It's about consistency. Okay.
Yeah, and now we have the 2-item power spike, so now I'm telling my team that I want to fight for the dragon.
Yeah, okay.
How this goes. I don't remember.
So here's the thing, right? I talked about like when you're in a losing game state, you want to split push. If you're in a winning game state, you want to group.
Yeah.
So how do you play an even game state? It's a very hard question. Okay, when you're in an even game state, It depends on a lot of factors, but essentially what we want to do is we want to play for ourselves first and then move to our team. So we play kind of selfishly because we never want to like randomly drop waves in order to be around objectives. It's not really worth it. So here, if you are looking to play with the team, you should always be looking for, a way to push a wave first. And this does two things, right? First of all, when you push a wave, you get a wave. Makes sense, right? You get a wave instead of moving somewhere and then you don't get it. Second thing is when you push a wave, the enemy have a dilemma because if they don't catch the wave, then they lose that wave. But if they do catch the wave, then you're already moving to mid and now they're like 30 seconds behind on you. And then you effectively create like a 5v4 scenario.
Basically what happened to me with the ZAAHEN when he crashed away before the Rift Herald. The same thing.
Exactly. So here, what I want to see is I want you to go top, push one wave, and then move to Drake. And there is a world where, you are late on that objective, but a lot of times when you're late on the objective, the enemy top laner is still top, and you can clean up afterwards the fight. Machi is a very good clean-up champion, right? And if you see that they use like crucial cooldowns such as Nautilus ult, and you see that you can maybe fight it and get shutdowns, that's a really good way to approach this. So the intention here is not good. You should not be moving to Drake. You should always be pushing away first and then looking to move. And by the time you're moving, you will know if you need to commit your move or not. And again, we're going to use that proximity thing where when we're halfway moving, we have to make a decision. Do we commit our move or do we go back, right? And that's the approach you should be taking here. So now, even though, you're grouped. You didn't have to be grouped. Your team is winning 4v4 or 4v3 because ZAAHEN is top. And now you lose a wave top. He gets a tower. You lose your 1v1 lead.
That wasn't needed there.
Right, and the thing about Mastery is if you lose your 1v1 lead, you can't dive people on side lane anymore. And that is your biggest win condition. The pressure you have when you can dive someone is really, really OP. So here you go bot lane. Why? I don't want you to go bot lane. Like, the objective is spawning bot. You should be opposite the objective because that's when you can pressure the most, right? That's when you can push a wave and move to your team. And if the people move to you, you can easily escape, and then your team has a 4v3 again, right? So I want you to be, when the game is in an even game state.
You want me to be on the opposite side of the objective?
100%, 100%. When the game is in an even game state, you want to be far away from the objective. Unless there are exceptions, such as 4th Drake important, my mid laner STP, I want to be close to the objective, but that's when you 100% want to fight it. But Atakan, a lot of people are really stuck on fighting Atakan because they think it's like a really OP objective. It is a strong objective, yes, but you should be okay with dropping it because again, in the future, even if the enemies have Atakan, if you have a big enough 1v1 lead on this ZAAHEN, you can still, if Nash spawns, dive in bot lane, enemy jungler comes, your team gets Nash, right? So you should play very selfishly as Mastery. Play very selfishly and always help yourself before you help your teammates. That's like the mindset you need to have when the game is in an even game state. So here, okay, you should be top lane, push the wave out. ZAAHEN makes a TP play to mid. You take their tier 1 tower top. Your entire team dies. I don't care that my entire team dies. I'm still a win condition myself, right? You're playing Mastery. You're a 1v9 machine. And then you see, you move to your team instead of hitting the tower bot. Let's say you should be bot or something, right? Which you shouldn't, but even then you should be taking the tower. You take the wave as well, and then you stall as much time as possible. You maybe even execute or whatever, right? So this here we go. We finally do it, and now you hit this, and then these are the types of plays that will happen. People will overstay, right, in this elo. People will overstay. They won't base when they should. This Nidalee is overstaying. Look, you push the wave first. Now you have a play. ZAAHEN has to catch bot, sorry. Why does this play work? Well, because they're making a mistake. And this guy, you're creating a numbers advantage because you pushed the wave and then you moved. And now you didn't lose any farm for making this play. This is a very good play to make. Very good. So this is very nice. And now you get a shutdown. And immediately after this play ends, you should instantly base. And then again, where should we go?
Top. Well, you want me to go top?
Yes.
I wanted to go Atacon.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one where this is the first time where I really feel like I disagree with it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just
you can disagree. It's fine.
I'm I'm man, I want to go and secure this Atacon for my team's mental, for the XP, right? That it gives. It just feels like such a strong objective. So I see what you're saying with this top lane because I have watched videos on improving and all that stuff as well. Where okay, I go push that advantage in top lane. I try to get as much as I can without my team needing me, because sometimes my team doesn't even need me, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make shit happen, and if I go down there, I lose all that shit in top lane, right? Like top lane, that's a lot. That's a tower. That's like 2 waves. I might even get tier 2 tower because they send everybody to AATROX. I get tier 2. That's 700 gold from that. Then 250 from that 1 tower. And then yeah, I see it. But like my brain's telling me that I want the AATROX. You legitimately feel that going top is better here.
Well, it's not a feeling, it's logic, right? And I want to rewire your brain to make this decision in the next time. So here's your approach. When you open up on the map, you don't want to be static. You want to be dynamic. You know what the thing I said about proximity right earlier? Yeah. You don't want to open up through top or through mid. You want to open up through jungle, okay? Because this gives you options. You can go pivot to mid, pivot to top. You're always close to multiple objectives. Right now, if you're opening up like this, and you can follow my cursor, this is where you are right now, okay? You see that your Jhin is not opening up through mid. Okay, you're going to take his job. You're going to go mid, catch the wave. After you catch the mid wave, that's when you can decide, do I want to go top? Do I want to go bot, right? So no one loses the wave. You catch the wave. Then you can pivot again. Okay, if the enemies are really posturing to fight and the fight looks good, you can pivot and move. If the fight doesn't look good, go top after you push the next mid wave. So you push another mid wave. And here's the juice, okay? Here's the juice. After you push this mid wave here, now you have 3 options. 3. You can take the tower and keep pushing. You can go top instead, or you can join the fight. Look how many options you have. If you go straight bot or straight top, how many options do you really have?
One option.
One option, right? Okay, so by going mid, you effectively catch the wave so you don't lose farm. That's the first thing. So you don't lose XP and gold. Second thing is enemies have to catch the wave, and if they don't, you take their base, right? That's the second thing. So, and the third thing is you can pivot, okay? And here's the sequence that can happen, and it's very realistic, very common. Take one wave, take another wave, take tower, go top, take one wave, take another wave, take tower, take another tower. How much gold is that? What, 1.6k gold or something, right? Do you want 1.6k gold and you give AATROX and maybe your team dies? Absolutely, because now with this gold swing, can ZAAHEN really defend you in the 1v1 scenario when the Nash is up?
No, I'd have Ginjus. I'd have 3 items. Yeah.
Yes, or if Drake is up, you base, you play for this, enemy defends you, you synchronize your pressure, right? So you only hit the tower when the Drake is up. Enemies come, you might even die, or you might get a 1-for-1. You get Drake for free. You do this the entire game. No one can stop you. So that's a really good outcome. So you need to be fine with your team just, inting and dropping resources, even in AATROX, in order to be feeding yourself a lot. Because look how much there is on the map. 1, 2, 3, 4 waves, 2 towers, camps.
Okay. So what happens? So you mentioned that things kind of change based on whether you're ahead, even, or behind.
Yes.
Is there ever a situation where you'd want to go AATROX first?
Yes. If you're like 20 kills to 5, let's say, or like maybe even 20 kills to 8 or 10, Why would you not? Ahead. Well, you would still push waves first. Okay, you would still push waves first because you always want to push waves first to create numbers advantages. But like when you're super far ahead, the only way to lose the game is if the enemies get a numbers advantage, right? So if you're like splitting on top lane for some reason, what's the point to take these towers to get more gold? What's the point to get more gold? You get more gold to be stronger on, objectives and on side. Okay, but your win condition is not to get side. If you win 5v5, you should just be grouping on every objective because ultimately, if you win 5v5, you should just take every 5v5. That makes sense, right?
Okay, so if you're even or behind, you go and do that. So in this case, let's say I was ahead. Should I push mid and pivot to AATROX, but
you should push mid. You should push mid and then just fight it.
Okay,
and the enemies will never start it because they're losing 5v5. Why would they start it? They're just gonna get shredded by the AATROX and then lose the fight regardless, right? So yeah, when you're losing, you want to usually just cross map. When you're even, it's more dynamic. You want to like push waves and then make your decision. Do you want to group or not? And that really depends on your camera control and stuff, right? Did they use 3 ults? Are they low HP? How good does the fight look? And that is something that takes some experience to get good at because as I said, you have like multiple decisions to make. Either you play for yourself and get all this, or you move to the fight. But that really depends on, do I have flash? Okay, should I even take the fight? I mean, if I'm 3 items, no one can stop me on side. Maybe I just don't take the fight at all. So you can kind of use the fact that your team is inting to get yourself really ahead. And then, well, you can just win the game, right? I mean, you're playing Master Yi.
How would you communicate with them? Should you tell them not to engage in that fight, or do you just let them?
Well, I kind of want them to. I kind of want them to die because that means the enemies are occupied.
Like I want them to, right?
Yes. So here's the thing: like if you were in voice comms, you would tell your team dance around AATROX, right? That means they're keeping the enemies occupied, but they're not committing to the fight, which means that if the enemies, normally, if the enemy team sees your team respecting, what's gonna happen? Maybe 1 or 2 people will finish AATROX, the rest will go back to defending. But if your entire team is And that's a problem, right? Because if 1 or 2 people can do the autocan and the rest can defend, well, then you can't take this anymore. But if your team dances around it, well, then you can take everything because the enemy's occupied. Because if they send 2 people and your entire team's contesting, your team is going to get it instead, right? So the way I would communicate it, I was just spamping on my way to like the wave, spamping on my way to this, spamping on my way to this, and then just maybe 1 or 2 danger pings, but I kind of want them to contest it, you know. And whether they live or die, it doesn't matter, you know. It like at the end of the day, even if your entire team dies and enemies get autocan, the game is still winnable because of the fact that you have this side lane win condition later on, and that is again what in my opinion, makes Master Yi so strong. Right. So now, and look, like this fight, if you play 100 games, this fight can go well or wrong 50 out of those 100 games. But I can guarantee that you will get 1.6k gold in 100 out of 100 games in this scenario. So it's a more consistent decision process. Yeah. Okay. So
because it's all about being consistent to get higher elo.
100%. So did I change your mind on that?
I'm gonna try it. My mind's not like fully changed, but I see where you're going with it. That it makes more sense to me rather than like, oh, I have to secure this objective. To me, it feels. I think really the mental block is always my team. Like, not that it's their fault. It's like, I feel like my team will lose their mental state if I don't come and help them. You know what I mean? Because
maybe
I'm
it's
so used to Korea having that mentality, but lately Korea's been really, really good. Like they don't like I'm actually the one throwing down the FFs now, so maybe I can get away with that nowadays. But I see what you're saying, and it makes sense. Yeah, it does seem more consistent rather than coin flipping a 5v5 fight that we may or may not win. I see it. I'm gonna try it next time.
Okay, good. And try it and review it too, and don't just give up on it after it goes wrong maybe. And I'll also say like. I'm an advocate of not making a bad decision because of some external factor like mind state. You know, I think that usually it's best to play the proper way, and you shouldn't really factor stuff like that in. I also think you should just mute your team, but you know that's your decision. I mute them sometimes. Don't worry. I never engage in like any bad fights or whatever. It's not worth it because you'll never see them again after the game. Well, you might, but you know. Like, I'm not going to remember what the fuck we argued about. Why the fuck do I care, right? So I try to keep it open to communicate. Sure. Yeah, I agree. Okay, this is another one of those moments where, you know, if you're going to move to the Drake, now you're already late if you base. And you're opposite the objective right now. And what's his name? ZAAHEN is dead, right? Yeah. It's not good to base here. Because by the time you move to Drake, you're already too late anyway. Does it make sense? So yeah, I see what you're saying. So in my head here, I'm sure you probably understand what I wanted. I wanted to get that Gunju's triple power spike, right? But what you're saying is there's going to be like 4 people at the dragon, so I can just get the tier 2 tower. Yes. Here's the thing: ZAAHEN has TP. Do you think he's going to TP to the Drake? Yes, he will, unless he sees you defend top, right? So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna sit in fog. You're gonna sit in fog until he TPs to Drake. And then you're going to reveal yourself and take the tier 2.
And then 1,000 gold.
Yes.
Yeah, I get 1,000 gold here.
So, but here's the dilemma, right? If you show yourself top now, he will walk top, and then he will TP to the Drake, you know, when he needs to, or when you move there.
This is a lot of sacrificing my teammates, man. I see what you're saying, and I kind of like it. But like, I'm just sitting here thinking about those poor souls, man.
But here's the thing. I see you're so used to your team taking fights, and like you're so used to that, and they're like inting, quote unquote, right? That you're always scared that they might, you know, do stuff without you, and you there's a lack of control, right? There's a lack of control where your team dies, and it feels bad that there's a lack of control, and I get that, but you have to get used to being fine with your team inting and you getting something in return for it, so that you can now 1v9 the game, because essentially, you know, when a game's even, you have to play really well. And as when you play Master Yi, you kind of have to 1v9 games, and the way to do that is to, well, make those selfish decisions so that you can 1v9 later, right? So the best thing you can do is ping them off, ping on my way to top tower, communicate your intentions as best as possible, and then just hope that your team doesn't int, and well, they either do or they don't. It's up to it's the fate of the universe, you know. So
but you know, even if they int and I'm 5 items, I can still solo carry a fucking fight, right? Like a Master Yi, I run in with Titanic, I get a bunch of kills, right? So it's not the end of the world.
Well, let's say you were on mid, for example, and you push the wave, and you know, let's say the Drake is still up and it's full HP and the enemies are not defending you. Often you can just take the tower, take the wave, take the tower, and then look, you have this flank angle because of the fact that you took the wave, which normally you don't have that flank angle, right? And now the fight might have broken out. You know, if you use your camera control properly, you'll see which ults have been used. You can decide based on that if you want to join the fight afterwards, and then you can clean up. And this is the thing. If you always play for yourself first, so you push away first before moving, or take tower before moving, then you can still clean up afterwards. But an organized 5v5 is only really good for a Master Yi if, you know, you're ahead, or if the enemies use crucial cooldowns, or you have like a really good position. But it's more consistent to look for side lane plays and then move, right? So you push and move, or you push and keep pushing. So this is, I mean, it's hard for, if the game's even, you need to make the decision. But yeah.
Yeah, so here's a question about this. Like, I see what you're saying for a lot of this. But in this state, it's like 20. My idea, like, I realized lately that I'm not taking the fights the way that I should. I'm losing some of my games because I join a fight too early or whatever, which is really bad as a E player, right? But in this case, like, I wanted to go in on this because I had the 3-item power spike, right? Like, I felt really strong. It's 23 minutes in. Mashy, this is like when Mashy is king of the game, right? Like, you get that mid-game 3 power spike. But I played this fight bad, right? Like, there's nothing to fight for. Why am I even fighting it, right? There's no dragon or anything like that, right?
You just said I played the fight bad, so that's why we lost. But then you instantly followed up with, why am I even fighting this? And the second question is more important.
That's what I ask my teammates all the time. Why are you fighting? Why are you warding the Baron? We can't take it, right? Like,
why are you fighting this? Because the objective is gone already. Enemies might overextend, but the thing is, when you're not behind the enemy team, right? When you're in front of them, they can always just right-click away. And nothing is stopping them from, because they're fighting on their own terms. They can decide if they want to fight or not. And usually when they do decide to take the fight, that means they're probably very confident that they'll win. So in this case, what's stopping them from just right-clicking out of here and just living, and then you know, you couldn't take the top tier 2 because of that. It's a flip, because
I don't even have an Highlander.
Yeah, and this whole mindset of, oh, I have item spike, so therefore I fight. I think the opposite should be true. I think you should have, I have item spike, so therefore now I can play side lane. I can dive anyone on side lane. No one can stop me. And if I just go to the bot wave and, you know, pressure the enemy tier 2, then when Nash is up, I pressure tier 2. Enemies can't, you know, they have to make a decision. Do we drop tower or do we play Nash? And you make sure that you synchronize your pressure properly. But I haven't seen you do any split pushing so far. I only see you group and fight, which it's too black and white. It's not dynamic enough, you know.
You should have seen some of my first top E games. I recommend you never go back and look at those. I would leave lane at like I left lane at like level 2.
Okay.
Like I was gone.
Yeah, that's not good.
So you said winning or even. I'm on the opposite side. So if we're behind and Nash are spawning, would I still want to push top, or would I want to go mid and then to the objective?
Well,
or sorry, bottom. Would I want to go bottom?
Okay, if you're behind and Nash is spawning.
Yeah.
Okay, so think about it. Think about it. What happens if you go top lane and you're behind and Nash is spawning? You're gonna be forced to fight.
Then I just joined Nasher. Yeah.
Right, you join the fight because, you know, if the enemies want to end the game, they have to take Nash, and then they're going to push the waves, take all the control in your top side jungle, and then play the Nash. Okay. So you're handshaking the fact if when you go top, you're essentially signing a contract that says, I'm gonna fight them. Because if you're pushing the top wave and they get mid prio and move to top like this, your team is still catching the wave. Well, now you're fighting, right? So.
But do I want to go bot?
Well, yes. If you're losing 5v5.
If I'm behind.
Yeah, if you're losing 5v5, so when you're behind, you most likely lose 5v5, right? So therefore, you should go bot lane. And here's the thing, we respected enemy jungler in lane. We're ahead of the enemy top laner because we held on to our lead. So now when we go bot lane and look to split push, the enemy jungler or mid laner or support has to join their bot laner to protect the tower, otherwise they lose their entire base. If they never send anyone to help, they lose this tower, this inhib, this tower, etc. When someone comes to join, that's when your team can take the objective. Now, you also need to factor in how fast is your team's Nash. How many people do I see? And this is why split pushing is one of the hardest ways to play League, but it's the hardest 1v9 because split pushing requires you to be aware of where the enemies are at all times, but it also requires you to be aware of how fast is your Nash, how much speed does Nash have, can I actually dive this person, do they have Zonias or not, etc. Right? So, but it is very, very good too if you're good at split pushing.
So now I'm a little confused because I wrote in my sheet, if I'm even or winning, I should be on the opposite side of the objective.
No, if you're winning, if you're winning, you want to group as much as possible. If you're even, it's more dynamic, but usually you want to be opposite, push and move. You want to push a wave, move to mid wave, etc. If you're losing, you want to be opposite most of the time.
Okay, so if I'm winning, so like if we're winning this game, let's say it's like 30-20 here.
Yes. Well, that's still a bit even.
I go top. Oh, that's still even. Okay, let's say 40 to 20.
Yeah, sure, that's
So,
hard winning.
I would go top into Baron, right?
Yeah, you would go top
And
here.
Any other state.
Yeah.
Any other state's bottom to Baron, or potentially mid to Baron.
Yes, if you're hard winning. Okay, so I'll explain this one last thing, and then we can move on to like a live game. So this is called like the push and move strategy. Okay, so if you're 40 kills to 20, okay. Wait 40 kills to 20, okay. And this is usually like, this is a pretty common map state where, you know, the jungler is grouped up with his bot and support on mid, right?
Okay.
Okay, so now when you win 1v1 on side, let's assume these towers are down. And this is like, let's say 1 minute until Nash. Okay. So you notice wave spawn at the same time in League, right?
Yeah.
But the lanes are shorter.
I know that.
So the wave spawns at the same time, but the wave is shorter on mid. The point I'm trying to make is that when a mid wave dies, the top wave is still here. Okay?
Yep.
So if this is wave A and it dies and wave A is still here, wave B is gonna be running right here when wave A is still here. Okay? And this is the push and move strategy. Okay? Push and move. So when you push a wave on top, and of course you can do that because, you know, you're stronger. Enemies have to respect.
Yeah.
You push a wave.
Okay.
Now, when you're moving to mid, the mid wave is essentially around this area. It's still moving. So you're creating a numbers advantage, right? The enemy top laner is still busy catching the wave. You're moving to mid. Therefore, if the enemies fight this, you have a 4v3, you win the fight. So most likely they're not gonna fight it, right? So now, because you push the wave and the enemies have to catch it here, now your team can move into the jungle. So you create a numbers advantage on top and then on mid and then back to the jungle. And now, when Nash is spawning in 1 minute, you can take all this vision. Because the enemies can't contest the vision. Why? Because the ADC usually is still catching the wave, right? This guy's catching the wave. You have a numbers advantage in jungle. You take all that vision. This is how you create those numbers advantages. You push a wave on side, then you move to mid, you're on the mid wave, you go back. So this strategy is what you use when you're, you know, even in the game. Or sorry, when you're really ahead, but sometimes also even, okay? When you're really ahead, this is always what you do. When you're even, sometimes. That depends on how good are you at diving the enemy top laner. If it's a Cassante, can you dive him well? Well, if you're, you know, 2 items to 2 items, it might be hard. If you're like 3 items to 1.5, yes, you can dive him, right? So this is why when you're even in the game, it's very dynamic. You can either do the push and move strategy, or you can split push when you're even in the game, okay? But when you're hard winning, you always push and move.
Always push and move.
Yes.
Okay. So you basically push the top lane and then you go mid.
Yeah, you just, and here's a little dilemma for you, and I want you to kind of figure it out for yourself a little bit too, okay? When you push a wave on side, and then you move to mid, the next top wave is here, right? What happens if the enemies just respect on mid?
Then I go back top.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be too late to the wave, right? Because the wave, let's say the enemy top laner pushes the wave, now he gets to
he pushes the wave and now he's taking. Yeah.
He can push a move now, right? He pushed the wave, now he can move, and then you have to catch it. And he creates numbers advantage. Well. This is a terrible situation. So what's the solution? Well, again, the proximity thing I talked about earlier. Instead of fully committing your move, you just half commit, right? You sit somewhere in the middle between the 2 lanes, because now you're back top in time to protect the wave here, and you're also close enough to the mid wave that if the enemies don't respect you and they fight anyway, you can still join the fight. So you push a move, but you never really fully commit unless you need to, and then you can always pivot back. You know, so you can go like this, or go like this.
So what happens if? So I'm kind of assuming that if I'm like down an item on the top laner, which happens sometimes, right?
Yes.
He does not need to respect me anymore. Do I just like grab that wave and then as fast as I can with my Titanic proc and then go sit in the middle of the river, just like I would even if I was ahead? But like in this case, I'm trying to be like more sneaky about it.
Yes, but often they're, you know, contesting you, and it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
But then
so I had to catch it.
Yeah. Then you do catch and move instead of push and move. So now the enemies can push and move, right? This guy can push the wave and move to mid. So you need to communicate that properly with your team. And then what you're doing is you're catching the wave and you're moving to mid. And again, you're kind of hovering between the lanes, because if this guy overcommits, then you can sneak the wave. Yeah. But if he doesn't overcommit, you need to be able to, you know, match him. So he goes top, you go top. He goes mid, you go mid, etc. Okay.
Okay.
So now you catch and move instead of pushing and move. Okay, so let's recap real quick, right? When we're winning, when we're hard winning, we want to push and move and like generally just group around the objective. Okay. When the game's even, you want to split.
How about you ask me to see if I can?
Sure. Okay. What do you do when you're even? What does it depend on what you do? You have two options, right? What are the two options?
So if you're even, you can. There's a few things you can do actually. You go to the top side, right, and on the opposite side of the map, like let's say Dragon's up, right, Dragon or Atacon. So I'll go to the top side and I'll shove it out, or I can go mid, shove that, and potentially go top. You know, if nobody else takes mid, I kind of sacrifice my team a little bit, but I look at the situation. If the fight goes our way a little bit, I can pivot down into the fight. But you know, depending on how things are going, I'm likely going elsewhere.
Yeah. So essentially, that just I would say that's just playing for yourself, right? Just playing for yourself. But the main two, and that's why it's so dynamic. But the main two like strategies, right? Strategy means what you generally are doing. You have two things, right? And it depends on if you're stronger than your opponent or not. On top lane individually, you can either split or push and move.
Yes. Okay.
These are the two strategies you have, and not every champion can do these.
Okay, so wait, you can't push and move if you're top lane and they're doing Atacon, right? Like I don't have TP.
Well, you could. Let's say the enemy top laner is not diveable, and then the enemy team is doing Atacon, right? Well, then you could push a wave, move to mid, push the mid wave, and then let's say this guy TPs without catching the wave first. Well, you can go back top and then take tower, or you could take the mid tower and then you have a flank, right? But again, it doesn't matter if the enemies get Atacon. You should be focused on how do I accelerate my own lead as much as possible so that the enemy top laner can't defend me again 1v1. Okay. You're almost playing like a Kayle, Often you see like Kayle players, they're like dropping objectives, they're like doing this and that. The same mindset applies to Master Yi. So this is when you're even, right? And this is like going to be 40% of your games. It's going to be even, maybe a little bit, maybe 60% of your games. Out of 10 games.
Yes.
Okay, and so you push a wave, and then the mid wave is still here, so you make a numbers advantage on the mid wave. You push the wave together, you take vision, and then you push another wave mid, and then you start the objective. And now with all this vision, you see where the enemy team is, right? Imagine you're doing Baron, and you see the entire enemy team. You know exactly where to position yourself. You know where to find a flank. You know if you can finish the objective or not based on how far the enemy jungler is to smite it, etc. And this is like a little game. You push the wave, you move, push the wave, move, push the wave, move. At some point, the objective spawns. Now you have a really good fight.
Right.
And
and if you are weak, you just go to the opposite side and kind of concede it, right?
If you lose no matter what, I mean, you should just go here. You should ask your support and junglers to join you sometimes even. And then you just dive this guy as 3. You take tower, and then, maybe with this extra gold you got, maybe now you can dive in 1v1 on the next Nash. And then suddenly you're an issue because now they have to send their mid laner to stop you with their top laner, and then your team for v3.
Okay, yeah.
And listen, you're not supposed to win games when you're behind, right? Like League of Legends is a game where if you play 10 games, like 3 of them are going to be won in Champ Select by random fate. 3 of them are going to be lost, and the other 4 is like within your control essentially, right? Those 3 games that you're supposed to lose. If you can win even one of them, you will make massive strides in your climb.
Yeah.
So even the best player in the world cannot win every game, but if you can, play as well as possible, make every right decision, you'll win a lot. Okay, that was a lot. So that was a lot of information at once. I understand that. I like to take a very theoretical approach because I think understanding is the most important thing, and then you apply what you learned. Do you have any questions? And are you down to do a live game?
Yeah, we can do a live game. Fortunately, I know of most of this, but the thing that really caught me there was the few things that it's going to take a little bit of work to get into is like the 420 on the jungler. I'll have to. That'll take a lot of games to eventually. Eventually, I'll get it, but it'll take a lot of games. And then the push and move. Like giving up objectives, that's going to be really hard to beat out of me as well. But yeah, most of the other things I know about, like, making sure I don't go up without the jungler or where the jungler is, knowing about support, because I got that kind of macro gameplay from being a jungler before, right? I still have this very jungle mentality where, the objective's up, I got to be there, right?
Yeah.
So I do need to beat some of those things out of me into the top one. But overall, most of it I understand. And I really like the idea of leaving my team to die. So yeah, I think you made a good point there.
Okay, and don't forget like things like camera control. like pinging intentions, warding the raptors level 1, tracking the enemy jungler to make sure you don't drop your lead in lane.
Okay, wait. Oh, hold up. So I made notes, but let me do this. Ward raptors. I'm just making a nice little checklist.
Every single game.
It's things that I would do every game. Yeah, ward raptors every game. What else is every game?
Well, I mean, camera control. You know, looking at fights before you
camera
decide
control.
to
Okay. Yeah, and
pinging your intention.
Okay, pinging intention. Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Okay, those are things that I can all work on. I think ward raptors will be easy, but the camera control and pinging intention will take some time.
You will have to literally like spend a week and focus on those things alone because they have to become habits. They have to become muscle memory. You need to, for example, I installed my camera keys to my Z, X, C, and V, so that it's easier to access with my fingers instead of using F1 through 4. But yeah, you would have to get used to that. But it's very, very good to get good at that. Yeah, I mean, this is the little game you're playing, right? And the League of Legends is one of the hardest games in the world, and you need to be very good at processing information and then actually making decisions. But this is like the game plan. This is the sketch, and if you can try to work on this, you know, you can improve a lot for sure. So if you want, you can go into a game and screen share. And
okay.
My style of doing live game coaching is I don't really like to play the game too much for you. I just want to like give you certain information, and then I want you to make the decisions, and then like afterwards we can review it, you know.
All right. No problem. Where is my kitty cat? And I guess something to keep in mind is, since you're being selfish about the gameplay anyway, I should always ask for last pick. Because top laners are expected to have last pick anyway.
The thing is, when you're playing Mastery, like, it's a jungler, right? So if you pick him early, a lot of the time the enemy top laner will not pick instantly because they think it's jungle. So I think on Mastery it doesn't really matter that much. And actually I would even say that if they blind pick a champion that Mastery is bad against, you're counter picking yourself, right? So I think you can think about that too.
Yeah, I thought about that as well. I actually brought that up with my friend because he plays it as well, and he's like, I don't think it matters. I'm like, but you could give your jungler last pick as well, right? Which is nice, right? Yeah. But I mean, Jace is in every fucking game right now as a jungler, so like if you don't have Jace, the enemy picks him. Yeah, dude, every game.
I think it's a
Korea plays the most meta shit. Yeah, they play everything they play is like super fucking meta. They're just like, you can go and look. Like, I was watching Monster SSS play top E, and I'm like, dude, you have a Sona on the enemy team. I've never seen a Sona before. I went and I look, and dude, they play it like 10 times more often in EU than fucking Korea. Fucking all kinds of crazy stuff, and you'll see like Lee Sins in every game and all that other stuff. Like, I'm gonna be surprised if they pick Lee Sin in this game. It looks like Vladimir top. I shit on Vladimir.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. Yeah, Monster says he hates it, but I love it.
What do we got?
There's the Lee Sin I told you about.
Oh, holy moly! Right, actually.
I tell you, dude, they pick the same shit as real Lee Sin. It's always the same shit.
All right, try to focus up. Ask for that level 1 ward, and I'll help you out a little bit with some decisions. Okay, chat. Thank you for the follows, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot.
It'll be different next patch. No, it'll be same. It'll be similar. It'll be similar. I'm not scared. Yeah, so it's a 300 LP lobby here, or I mean, I guess it's kind of all over the place. Vladimir's 300. So
bro, I'm low-key like Omega hating on Professor and like these third-party apps, because I always see people obsess over, oh, enemy is a one-trick, oh, they this and that. I personally believe that it's like unnecessary pressure and like unnecessary information, you know.
Personally. Oh yeah, I just like to see it, you know. But he's also a Vladimir trick, so it's kind of fun to see. Oh, I'm playing against a guy that plays it a lot, and I did well into it, right? So it's, you know, it's a nice little.
Yeah.
I don't care if I do bad in it.
I've had so many students who are like, they have like a widget and they track their CS per minute, and then they like, oh, my CS per minute is low, I gotta go side lane, and then they just make the wrong decision based on that. It's like sometimes it can be very bad.
I mean, in a lot of my games, I've had like 2 CS a minute. I'm telling you, definitely don't want to watch some of those previous games.
Okay, ask for the ward.
Oh yeah, the ward. Okay. I don't remember how to say ward. Fucking raptor ward. I don't know how to say raptor ward. How do I say? Or sorry. Why is my victim? Oh, he wants a cheese, I guess. Okay. I mean, okay. He's scared. He's scared of the LeBlanc.
Yeah, I mean, we're not good.
No, we're not getting that ward, but I'm gonna walk with him here. I'm gonna keep my distance because I don't want to be late to lane. I've definitely followed my teammates into fucking stupid situations here. I'm not going too deep here, brother. Oh, he might ward this.
Yeah, if
That's
he wards
smart.
blue, it's
okay,
good.
they're over there. Okay, so we are gonna be weak side very likely. Because it looks like Jace is starting red and Lee Sin's starting bot side. What the fuck did I want to do weak side? So I'm not diving him at level 4?
Don't worry about it too much. You don't. Okay, just you don't know yet for sure, right? After we crash the wave, that's when we make our decision.
Oh, I know. I'm diving him at level 4.
Just play your lane as you normally would. You know, don't do anything crazy. Just play like you're crazy. Like I'm not here. I'll mute myself even for a bit.
Okay. Boy ain't here. I'm ready for you, Vladimir, baby. How you doing? Oh, it's just so juicy. It's just so crispy.
Okay, your Jace invading, so you're strong side. Your vertical strong side.
Okay. Okay, vertical strong side on the Jace. I could just kill him, by the way, guys. I don't know how to tell you guys this, but
ping your intention.
So Lee Sin will
ping to dive, no?
Oh, okay, okay. Ping my attention. Ping my attention. Let me check the minion state. 1 melee minion to get level 2 for Vladimir here. I'm just gonna let that go so I can get my double strike up. I'm gonna ignite. Oh my god, I fucked up, but that's fine. I lagged. Oh, my bad. He got executed. Sorry. Sorry, butter. I messed up. I'm gonna recall here.
TP. Yeah, get out.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat was getting off my lap there. I was distracted. I supercharged the turret. We don't talk about that. It's okay. Good job. It's okay, brother. So for my back here, I want to get me a long sword and a boot.
Okay, while we're walking to lane, think about this. Where is the enemy jungler?
Okay.
And what did enemy top laner use? Right now.
Probably okay, I'm thinking I don't know what Vladimir used because I fucking frame lagged for some godforsaken reason. The wave's pushing back. We don't see Lee Sin. He did use TP for sure. That was really helpful there, ping him for that gank.
He
there.
showed mid
I'm really surprised.
Press tab.
Okay. What? Oh yeah, tab.
He has 16 CS, so he took 3 bot camps. He's going to top side now. So you're playing weak side, okay? He's going to your top side. So you have to not take any damage, otherwise they're gonna maybe dive you. So just be careful.
Okay.
He's on your red, and then he's gonna go Krogs and then go top lane. If you're too low, he's gonna dive you.
Do I just give cannon up?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Just chill.
Yeah, you know that's really hard to do too, is to give up those cannons. But yeah, I understand it because we know he's top side here. Yeah. But he can't dive me. Even if he wanted to right now, he can't dive me because I'm full HP. Yeah,
but here, if you take damage, the wave is gonna push back to Vlad.
Yeah,
and then you're low, and then it's hard to play out the bounce.
Yeah, and then I can't even...
catch the wave at the latest frames, okay? Wait for the tower shot to be in mid-air before you last hit.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So now ward river before you walk up to the wave preemptively. So take this minion and ward the bush. Right there. Yeah. Okay. Enemy Lee will go to his top side here to take his Gromp.
Shut down already, huh?
Okay, Lee is mid lane. You can look real quick on mid. What does he have?
I can't focus on CS at that at the same time. I just can't do it. Oh. I wanna fuck this guy up, bro. Like it's within me here.
Yeah, you can. You can zone him off XP as well while you do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, he missed cannon EXP, I think. Okay, I don't know where Lee went. I'm assuming he went
shove the wave
though,
and you
so
base.
I'm just gonna float push it. Yeah,
you hard push this. You hard push this.
Yeah, car push and then base out because he is likely in the top side, I think.
Yeah, he is most likely, and then he's gonna go back to his bot side afterwards. So you base.
And what happens if what if he catches it?
I mean, if he holds it, then you just stay. There's a pretty low likelihood that he can actually though. Okay.
I mean, motherfucker wants to hold that shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking a lot of damage. Now it's almost diveable, right? So your ward is expiring, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching for.
Lee will go bot side soon. So I would ward first and then get the wave in. You can trade some HP to get the wave in, actually. Oh, he's here. Good ward. See,
I
weak
see that
side, weak
motherfucker.
side. Woo!
I see that
There we go.
motherfucker, bro.
There we go. We're
Yeah, but
weak
he's
side,
gonna come
baby.
back. I already know he's gonna come back. I've seen this shit 50 billion times. I have
Yeah.
ulti though. I'm just gonna let him take HP and then potentially dive him.
Okay, you gotta.
I do have enough time out here.
You gotta take the ward soon, the control ward.
Yeah, I know. I'm just waiting so they think I'm gone, and then I'll push it up.
Look
here
at the
in a
way.
sec, as
Look
soon
at the way
as I-
Ori is posturing on mid. Look at the way she's posturing. She's posturing towards top side, which means Lee is probably there. Good trade. Lee's mid. You're good. Lee's mid. Okay.
Dude, this
Alright,
motherfucker.
Take the ward, and there's a plant in river right now. You can take the plant if you want to, but
That is true.
you will lose some XP if you commit your move too much. So pick your poison, you know.
I want to get a little. I want to push this and then go get the plant.
You can. Be a little bit careful. He's quite strong.
Yeah, I gotta back off here. That's okay though. I have my time at, and I have another long sword, so life is good.
How's the wave state?
But yeah, he's been.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm looking at it, and it's gonna bounce back to me. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it will. It will.
it's not the end of the world here.
Okay, Lee is bot. I mean, this Lee is 1v9 as hell. Like, he is.
But here's the
everywhere.
great thing: he has 4 kills, and none of them are me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Okay, he ulted
Ulted
the wave.
Yeah. Alright, no ult for like 1.5 minutes, so you should win 1v1 now. Okay, what's the next objective?
Yeah,
What's
but
your job?
I had to poke him down. Okay, so the next one is gonna be grub. So I'm actually watching to see if the LeBlanc comes down or comes up. I mean, I'm kind of worried that even if I win the 1-on-1, that LeBlanc will roam up here and then I'll have to fight this. But I just want to shove this, but
Yeah,
I want to shove this and see if I can make something happen somewhere else, especially grubs are up, right? And I'll just ping the grubs if he wants to do them.
Sure. You need to see Lee's items first, and
I can't do my freaking thing here. Yeah. Lee's gonna be very fed.
yeah, you can even.
Can
take
I roam
over
on
mid.
that? I want to roam
Yeah,
on
you
this.
could.
Oh, there he
He's
is.
here. Be careful.
Yeah,
Just
he's
place.
pretty strong.
You
man.
can't roam
He's-
mid. Just go back top
Okay.
and place a ward. Place a ward in river to
Yeah.
make sure you don't get ganked here.
Hey, buddy. Take my mana. Man, she needs all the mana you can get. I
He-
don't
he
think.
wants to
Oh,
fight
okay.
it. You
No.
can.
I don't think so because they have Ori, right?
Well, she had the base.
I mean, she's gonna be here before the Jace or the Victor will.
I think you just dance around a
I don't
little
like
bit.
this.
You just dance a bit.
I got you, buddy. I got you. Fucking run, you little bitch. Okay, out. Brother, do you want? What do you want me to do, brother? He's fucking VMing at me, bro. I got a wave to catch. Vladimir fucked up his wave. Victor's there.
That was good because the wave is slow pushing towards you. You know.
Yeah, he's so mad.
This
right
guy
now. He
lost, like,
says,
a
he said
full
no
wave.
flash. No flash. And now he's saying surrender 15. This game's fucking lost.
Just do slash
All right,
def.
Jace. Jace is pretty angry right now, bro. He needs to chill the fuck out. Oh shit.
Bro, your damage
Brother's
is
angry.
disturbing.
I don't have meditate though. Yeah, I think we have Leona and friends coming up here. I'm just gonna chill. I miss that EXP. Got a nice little pinky here. Okay, so they're gonna try to dive me, but as long as Lee Sin doesn't kick me immediately. Oh, that was juicy. Thank you. And I got the cannon.
Damn. You like that, bro? You
Damn.
like that though?
Yeah, did. That's kind of shit I would do. My
Okay.
man. Well,
Vladimir
you know,
has to
see,
pee,
that's
right?
where we.
Vladimir has to pee.
Yes.
Okay, so take
Is it
this
still up?
wave and then recall. Or actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's still be up.
recall.
Yeah, I want to get one plate and a wave because I have timeout. So I get the plate, I get the wave.
Okay. If Lee Sin comes, you're cooked, but we're gonna hope he doesn't come.
Wait, he can't come though. He just died.
Why is home guards?
Home guards take 20 seconds to get here, brother. We're good.
Okay.
Though I don't like where this wave's at. But you
Yeah,
know,
it's a bit
I have a full Titanic now. Yeah, it's okay. I want to kill this so they can't see me recall. Oh wow, he pushed it back.
Okay, no TP. I think Vlad used flash 2, no? In that fight?
I don't know.
Let's assume
Actually,
he
don't
did.
actually know.
Let's be real. He would have flashed Leona.
Yeah, maybe. I wish I could buy a refillable, but that's fine. Dude, I got a 10.5 minute. Dude, this man.
Okay, analyze the game state and see like how do you want to play this game. You're even right now.
Yes,
How many drakes do you have?
One.
Okay. So you have a lot of time to scale right now.
Yeah. We chilling.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like watching the mini map, right? I'm not being completely oblivious here.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's not really, I don't feel like I would ever really do anything with this mid. I mean, I guess I could shove up and then kind of watch mid. I usually shove up and look after I shove because I'm so like hyper focused on it. But I could definitely see the. Oh, you think I should proxy?
No, the proximity, like be between top and mid right here and see.
Oh yeah. But I kind of want to proxy. Oh no, because Lee Sin. But I had the Jace here, so I did want to proxy. I'm just gonna. Oh, he does kick. Okay, yeah, we didn't know where LeBlanc was, and Victor's kind of chilling. We're going on a journey, by the way. we're going on a journey here. We're on a journey, and she's gonna kill me. Okay, that was a little rough.
Yep.
If I was a meaner guy, I would yell at Jace, but I'm not. I'm a good guy. I followed him in.
Just focus on the next objective. Focus on what's in your control right now.
Okay. Well.
What's spawning next?
Well, what I want to do is I want to get top here. Well, the Rift Herald is, but people kind of usually ignore the Rift. I think they have full grubs too. Yeah, they have 3 grubs, so Vladimir is gonna chip through my tower.
Yeah.
I think that was it's gonna be a little rough here. I lost a lot on that.
Yep.
Yes, sir. But that's okay.
Still
I could still do some decent trades with him. I'm gonna keep my meditate up for his ulti or whatever. We can maybe get his pull here.
Check the map first. Where's everyone?
Well, I think Lee Sin's bot because he was just top and they cleared the top side. So I feel like he's gonna be up there, down there. So I feel good about this. I just want to slow push this, like get a nice little big thing here, and then look to do something in mid, even though my mid is kind of 0-6.
You have 2 wards.
Okay, I'm gonna ward. Yep, that's why I was gonna head down the ward, which is good because Lee Sin's actually on this side of the map. I don't know why this dude's following me. Like, I'll bash you. I see the Lee Sin. I know where Lee Sin's going. He's gonna come top. So I get a nice little push here. I'm gonna go check this.
There's no flash, Lily. Enemy supports bot lane.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I forgot about the LeBlanc. That was probably the biggest mistake I made, is I forgot about LeBlanc. My wave's going to shove here. Okay, he's back over there. I'm going to go back to my wave. I was just checking to see if he took it. He did not take red. And I'm going to wait for... I'm going to pretend I'm not here, see if he shoves it. He is shoving a little bit. Lee Sin is bot side. I think he's going to reset anyway, so I don't want to do a big trade with him. I'm going to hold this. Lee Sin's coming top. I got my ward here. Oh, he's going full top, bro. He's wanting to get all... He wants to get all naughty on me here, but that's okay. I warded Lee Sin. I got the fundamentals. Fuck me. Oh, now you're suddenly not pushing. Is that right, Mr. Vladimir? I know what you're up to. Okay, Jace is coming, but I'm fine if he doesn't. Like, here, you could just take this. Okay, he doesn't want to take those. That's fine. Okay. I mean...
No flash, Lee.
Now, this is why I didn't mind if like he just cleared his jungle. I would feel like we're fine here. Right. I can't do anything. I have no E. I just am not too happy about this here, but you know.
It's fine, bro. It happens.
That's fine.
Hey, the only thing you can do now is think about the next play. You know, that's literally all you can do.
Yeah. Well, now I'm thinking that the dragon's gonna be up, and I'm gonna be matching as Vladimir in the top lane anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Dude, it's just everything, all the negative things that have happened in this game is because of me dealing with my jungler, like following him up too much instead of just doing what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like he wants to go down there, so I followed him. He wanted to go in here, so I followed him. And I, you know, don't get me wrong, I did a bad flash on that lead, but But I don't think the game's even remotely over. I think we got some good bounties, potential bounties here. Oh, I did not mean to hit that. Okay. So Lee Sin's bottom. I'm going to go ahead and use this to go through this. Victor's still, you know, Victor's farming. He's 0-7. He's living his life. I could appreciate that. Like, there's nothing wrong with living. Lucian's doing well. Lucian's going to carry. I do beat Vladimir in the one-on-one here. I'm fairly sure. But has he shown himself recently? Because he's already level 11 on my board. Okay, he's top. Oh, he's low HP. And Victor wants to dive this, so. I don't know what the fuck is going on right now, but. I don't know, bro, but you know what, dude? I'll take it. I just say we get out of here. Victor, do not go near that. Do not go near that. Okay, okay. I had no mana. But, dude, that would have been popping. Yeah, she went for me instead of Victor. I thought she'd go for Victor for sure. But, dude, honestly, this ain't too bad. This ain't bad. Lee Sin has a shutdown. Lucian can maybe pick it up here. Oh, maybe not.
Korean Lee Sins are crazy.
Oh. Ah. I killed Vladimir.
That's a Korean Lee Sin right
guys.
there.
0-8. It's okay. He's worth 700 gold. Okay, so this is one of those games where we're kind of like definitely not really even. We're kind of almost even. We're mostly negative, but almost
You're hard
even.
losing. You need to go opposite.
I'm almost even. Come on, bro. It's 24-14. You said that's almost even.
No, I mean you're hard losing pretty hard right now. Like just
Okay,
look at
yeah,
enemy
I mean,
items, you know. Look at levels and items.
Yeah.
But you're opposite the objective right now because the Herald's already gone. Next objective is gonna be.
Yeah, Herald's gone. Yeah, I'm gonna be opposite of the Atacon here.
So who are you facing?
And Vladimir's on the other side as well.
You're gonna face Ori.
I don't know yet. Yeah, probably Ori. She's
so check her items.
Not really. I mean, yeah, I see it. She's missing one item, but she's gonna have another one here in a second.
Okay.
Because she does have two. She's gonna have a lot on that Victor. Somebody's coming top. Maybe Lee Sin warding here, or sweeping. I mean. Oh, okay. Oriana's here. Maybe that was her sweeping. I thought that was Lee Sin.
You can take Krugs and then.
Lee Sin, I guess.
You can take Krugs and then.
Jace, you're not gonna like this, my motherfucker. But this is. Oh God!
Oh,
please.
Days. Get out of here.
Okay, this is fine. I have my power spike.
He's gonna dive you.
Nah, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're not good. That's fine. I'm gonna bait her. That's fine. Ooh.
I couldn't see anything. The stream was lagging so hard.
That's okay, brother. You don't have to see much. This is winnable though. Still winnable. Vladimir died. I have 2 items. I'm pretty strong. Usually, like what I like to do is I get 2 items and I fight for the Atacon. But I'm trying. I'm gonna go to the top side. Okay, what happens when Lucian goes top side?
You ping him to not go and you take the lane. You just kick him out.
Okay, I'm going top side. Give me a suicide. Oh no. It's fine. It's fine. I think he got her. Nice. I mean, that's huge, bro. That's a huge shutdown.
Yep.
Oh, I messed up my cannon. Very good. Okay, Oriana, who died? Jace died. So definitely not getting that Atacon.
I would ping my Leona to come top with me and dive whoever defends tier 1.
Yeah. There's some action going on here. Okay, so Vladimir will try to match me.
If he does, you go mid.
Right? And I'm strong enough to beat him if he does, but he's mid right now, so it's fine. Wait, I would go mid if he came? Oh,
yeah, because you can't dive.
I'm stuck on minions. What the fuck?
Because you can't, I mean, unless you can dive him.
Yeah, I can dive him.
Okay, then you don't. Go mid. Okay, Ori's coming.
Okay, so my base is.
You have a flank. Look at
check.
their HP bars. Are they low? You can maybe flank.
I don't know, bro. They disappeared. I'm done busy. Oh, she's low. Okay, let's go. Let's see that flank. Let's see that flank.
No, now you base. They're out. Just spend your gold. Just spend your gold. It's fine. How many drakes do they have?
2.
Okay, you can drop one more.
I have 2 components here.
You keep going top.
Oh, fuck. All right, let's back off. Dude, my mouse is all fucking cooked right now. I promise. It's a mouse issue. Mouse gap. Do I know Korean or auto translate, bro? I'm typing boxes. I hope they understand me. YOLO. YOLO. All right, 3 dragons, add a con, 16 down, 5 towers. You know what, dude? I'm gonna, instead of saying we're 5 towers down, I'm gonna make that 4 towers down.
That's the spirit.
Okay.
There we go.
Actually, we're probably gonna be 6 towers down, but I'm gonna make that 5 towers down. Once I get Ginzu's, dude, I cannot click. I don't know why, dude. My mouse is cooked. Once we get that Ginzu's, life is good. It'll be fine. Vladimir's in the Atacon, so I'm free to push. I'm pushing the world.
Okay, here, Vladimir, you can assume he will base and go top, right? So you can already base and go bot lane. And then you have a 5v4
I'm going to show my intent to push, and now I recall. So that, like, he saw me moving forward, so he's like, oh, he's going to push.
Exactly.
And now I recall.
And now he bases, and now you can take a 5v4 if the 5 was still there.
I mean, it might still be there. They might get greedy. I'm going to fake this here. Fakey out. Going to go back up my Lucian.
Okay, you want to be bot here.
We need to get another tower. Whoa, we scared her away. Bro, that was so free. Yeah, I mean, next objective is definitely going to be the Baron here. Bro, I cannot get over those walls. I want to kill that freaking Tristana so bad. Living a good life. So Vladimir's top. We don't know where Trist is. We don't know where the support is. Vladimir is 80% HP. Yep. Oh, somebody's coming through the gate to stop me down here.
Yeah, just stay.
Can I go back and just like.
Just stay out of
There's
vision.
2 down here though.
Yeah, just stay out of vision. Make sure that you wait until you see enough people to fight.
Okay, well, I think there's support. I think it belongs down here. Trist might try to push, and if I can kill Trist, because Trist will. Oh, they FF'd. I could have killed Trist here.
No, what? It's a free kill. Oh, unlucky, bro.
Yeah, like you let him bleed out too much. You know, the mid laner goes 112. They kind of. I think it was winnable, actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, 100%.
It looked kind of bad, but
100%.
I was actually pretty fed, yeah, from
100% winnable. 100%. And actually, you might think there's not a lot to review this game, but there is actually quite some stuff to review.
Yeah, I think some of the things that came to mind for me was like, I think following Jay, I should have been more, like, you know, like you have little children and you need to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of let them boss me around a little bit, kind of like
maybe
both my deaths to Jace, they're my fault, but like,
yeah,
I shouldn't follow him. I backpinged him, and then he's like, no, I'm going. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a bad habit of, and this ties back to, remember what I said about you overgrouping. You have a bad habit of trying to make up for your team's mistakes. You're trying to salvage a lot. You're trying to like, oh, I'm scared my team will die, so I'm gonna like hold their hand. But you need to let go. Yeah. Right. You need to not hold their hand. So, are you looking at the screen share?
Yeah. Let me pop that up here real quick. Okay. Oh, you full recorded the game. Oh no, you're using my YouTube live.
Yeah,
Let me pause my replay here. I got going. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I want to, like, the style I want to use is I want you to review the game yourself, kinda, and then I want to like correct.
Okay.
You. Okay. So, what are some good things that happened so far, like right now?
So the good thing is I harassed him pretty down low, so he can't. So there's a few things. First, can you pause it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing is I harass him down low, so he can't contest CS, and I get to freely do whatever I want with the wave. I get to control the wave, figure out what I'm doing. I asked my Victor for the ward. The Victor put the ward in the blue buff for me, gave me a little thumbs up, and we already had a nice game of camaraderie before he died 13 times. I also pinged my intent to dive the Vladimir instead of just blindly diving him, which told my Jace that, you know, hey, I can come up here and help that. And yeah, overall, that was pretty good. I think I did have that mechanical misplay where I walked into the tower. I got a little, I'm a little nervous,
It's fine. It can happen. And your intention was good, right? I don't care if the mechanical execution is bad and the intention is good. That's still a win in my book.
It ended up okay too, except Vladimir got the execute EXP from the Jace. But other than that, it was pretty good. This entire early, I think this was pretty good.
I think you almost made no mistakes except for the mechanical stuff, which can happen, right? But look, pinging your intention here, your Jace instantly came, and without warding the blue, maybe your Jace wouldn't have done Raptors into blue.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done the blue. Yeah.
Right. So these small things make a massive difference, right?
Yeah, like this game's already completely different because without that ward from the Victor, Jace would have just done a full clear towards the bot side. And and we also know Lee Sin's not going to be there and he's going to hover around bot side, which I could have communicated that more because Victor probably, I don't know exactly how Victor died, but maybe Victor died because Lee Sin is hovering around the bot side and now he wants to trade with Jace's top side,
Yeah, sure. So here the wave is pushing towards you and you saw Lee Sin walking top, right? And I gave you that piece of information. You need to at some point be able to process that yourself, right? So when the wave is pushing towards you, you need to look at the minimap, and because every time you want to play aggressively, you first need to make sure it's legal. And how do you make it legal? Well, you need to make sure that the cops are not here, aka the jungler, right? And so here the problem with, let's say you trade here, not only can they maybe dive you, so I don't know, maybe they can, maybe they can't. It doesn't matter because even then, if you're low right now and the wave is pushing away from Vladimir, that means that you have to play out the bounce with 70% health instead of 100.
Yeah. Looking at these kind of situations, I think both situations where Lee Sin was top, I think we played those really well. So this situation, we gave up the cannon to keep ourselves healthy. There's been a lot of times where I'll take 30% damage, and then they just dive me, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a big problem.
I'm aware of that. Yeah. And then on that other situation, we saw Lee Sin come top with the thing, and instead of greeting or saying, "Oh, he's gone," that's something I do a lot. "Oh, he's gone," right? We just waited.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Because they sit there for like a minute because they're little bitches.
We'll get to the point as well. So here, the reason I want you to ward now, and a lot of people would ward on the next wave, right, when it's here. But if you ward on that wave, often when you ward, they are sitting in a bush, and then you face check them, and then you're getting 2v1. But now Vladimir's not here, so if you ward, it's a 1v1, and then you have to ward preemptively. So that's really nice because now if we fast forward. In this situation here, if you were to ward now, well, then it's awkward, right? Because if you ward now, then Lee Sin could be in that bush. And that's what
I also lose the ability to deny him. Like, I'm denying him EXP and shit because I already did my ward, right? You need to do it before the minions take damage as well so that you can last at them.
100%. So that's why you ward early. And then here, what do you think was good here or bad here? What do you think of the situation?
So I crashed a wave, and I really liked that I crashed a wave, but he held the wave really hard. And if I wasn't if you pause it, if I was doing this situation by myself, without the coaching or whatever, without the nervousness of the coaching, I would have just walked up and just tried to smack him and push it in. And what usually ends up happening is at that point, the wave ends up, you see where he's at right now, that's where the wave ends up for the next 5 waves. It just gets stuck there because I'm constantly trying to push it in and he's not letting me push it in, so I get stuck, right? And I usually put my ward down in the jungle so the jungler doesn't gank me, but yeah, he ends up in a very favorable position here because he did stop my wave.
Yeah. Okay, so the question is, how do we prevent this, and how do we and is it even preventable in the first place, etc.?
I think instead of immediately backing out the recall, I just needed to follow the wave and push into him, but I really did not expect him to do that.
Yeah,
because I'm stronger than him. I just fucking trade him.
Here's the thing: when you threaten the crash and people hold it anyway, 99% of the time, people are baiting. Lee Sin will come, you Q him, Lee Sin comes, you're dead. Yeah. You have to read his body language, and based on that, you can decide if you want to respect or not. And Lee Sin did end up being top, so you respected as you should have. Top. Yeah, so you made the right call, right? And look, now
I didn't alpha. Yeah, I didn't go full fucking alpha in his face, right? Because I was scared, but I was trying to hey, let me push this wave in, please.
Yeah.
And then I waited for the EXP and I recalled.
You did the right thing, because now Lee's top, your team can get Drake. That's a win.
Oh, yeah. Continue.
No, go ahead.
No, I was thinking in the grand scheme of things. That's why I said just to continue, because I had an overarching idea of the game that when I look at this game, I think that I did really well this game. Despite being nervous and all that other stuff. my laner inted or whatever, right? Which is fine. I think that there's places I can improve, like maybe like if I tracked a jungler better, I could have helped Victor from getting the 0-13 or whatever the fuck happened there, right?
You don't have that. You shouldn't have that mindset of like, oh, I should track the jungler for my mid laner. Like, you need to focus on your own gameplay and your own lead, and you help your team by 1v9ing the game on side lane later on if they're inting. That's the way you help your team. So like 15, 20, 30 minutes from now, that's when you help them. You get the wave in, you base. Now you move down a little bit, and here this is like where things get a bit shaky. So okay,
yeah,
what's your thoughts on this?
I don't want this. I really don't want this. Like, can we go back a bit?
Yeah.
I want to see what's up with Ori here. Okay, so I didn't look at her, but she apparently is low HP and shit, right? Like my concern here is that Vladimir's 7. Like, the wave is kind of pushing into him, right? But like, I think Lee Sin is 6. I actually don't know, but I think he's 6, and Jace is 5.
He is.
Like, we just don't. I don't think we win this 2v2. Like, Lee Sin's like, I think he's 4 kills at this point, or 3 kills, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to do these grubs. I don't want to do them. I just really don't.
A big problem I have is, I have 2 problems. First of all, you don't really know. You didn't check if Ori was low. You didn't like, you pressed tab, but were you actually looking at Lee Sin's items and his level?
Yeah. We talked about his items there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then you could make the you can come to the conclusion that you shouldn't fight this. But then. Like,
yeah. So I did came to the conclusion of that. Yeah. Right? I really did not want to.
But then why do you still fight?
And I'm backpinging it. I don't know. Because he went in, so I backpinged it, bro. Like, look at him. Like.
Okay, sure. But like, just because this guy's inting, should you then salvage it? Like, because now he will int even further because he sees that you're trying to help him, and you're posturing in a way where he thinks it's okay to do this. But your pings should align with your body posture, right? Like, if you ping him out, you shouldn't try to follow up. You're basically, because right now, let's say you walk top here and you push the wave. Vladimir will lose a wave. You will gain a wave. You can use your Jace if he decides to. Yeah, if he decides to still fight these grubs, you know, even if you're going top lane, that's his mistake. But if you go top right now, Vladimir, he might even go top as well, the Vladimir, and then you can move to the grubs, and then you actually have the numbers advantage.
Yeah.
So this is what I meant earlier with, like, you tend to really try to salvage your team.
Help people too much, yeah.
Yeah, be more selfish.
Yeah,
like, just play for yourself.
And I'm ready to fight for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but generally speaking, you know, let's say the fight was good, then you made the right decision because the wave is pushing towards you, meaning that even if the fight goes somewhat wrong,
both of them, right?
Yeah, you can still go top lane and catch the entire wave. Vladimir loses more.
That's what I was trying to do. Is like, I'm here, but I don't want to be, but I can still go to top lane, right? But then I ended up, we ended up winning. Yeah, I should have backed off there.
Yeah. But just don't help your team.
Mistake going into it. Yeah. Dude, look at that chat from chat. Yeah, that's look how many lines of chat that was.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to bring up. I feel like so the vibe I'm getting is like you care a lot about the team morale, right? And
yeah, I do.
And you care a lot about what people are saying in chat and stuff. Well, I don't know how to say this, but I think you shouldn't care, because what does it matter what people are saying? And a lot of times this game, you were walking to lane and then you were typing, and a lot, like, when you're walking to lane, one of the most important things in League. Well, one of the most important things in League is to press tab and actually really absorb all the information, like who am I going to face, what are their items and levels, how many drakes do they have, what's the next objective, etc., etc., etc. And you're using that valuable time to press tab to now type. And even if you're typing the right things, sometimes you were, sometimes you weren't. For example, you were telling Yona to come top. Sometimes you're arguing with Jace. Either way, you're still.
I did not argue with Jace.
Okay, well, I mean, you were still typing to him. The point here that I'm trying to make is, instead of typing, just ping your intention. Like, pinging is always better. Like, people mute chat and they might not even see your messages. And no one mutes everyone's pings all the time. You know, usually people see your pings. Try to ping effectively and your intention just by using that. And don't type too much. And just disable chat, because when you see a message, you start to read it, and then your eyes are somewhere else, and then you don't see that you're getting dived, and then you die. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think, like, it's really hard for you to understand why I feel the way I do here. Like, you know, Korea is the only region without all chat. And the reason why we don't have all chat is because of, I'm sure you knew about these, they're called the mid opens. So when morale got bad, people would type in all chat that mid's open, and they would go AFK, and it became such a problem that this region's not allowed to have AFKs, or not allowed to have all chat, right? They have a very bad mental. They give up a lot easily. So I still have this feeling like, oh, they're gonna quit, they're gonna quit, they're gonna quit, they're gonna quit, right? Like they quit this game, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
But like they're better at it. Like it's much better than it used to be. So like, yeah, I could do it. But like, you know, I've been streaming on this server for fucking 11 years.
Yeah.
It's like I literally had like usernames talking about like, please don't AFK, blah blah blah. Like we had the AFK bush. Yeah, there's a lot of that's still like in me that I still have to get around because it's hard to like, you know, when the morale goes bad, I'm fucking so used to them trolling. Like I know people say like, oh, my team trolls or whatever. Like it was a real issue in Korea for a really long time.
Yeah, I get that.
Once, right?
I get that, but I think it's time to try and let go of that because I think it's hurting your gameplay in a sense that you're salvaging your team's bad mistakes and trying to join them to make sure that they don't get tilted. And I also think that it's taking away from your the information gathering process that happens in League, right? When you're, you know, checking what items people have, what levels, etc., which is very valuable time. And I think that there will, like, you just have to be okay with the idea that some games your team will FF even though it's winnable. But I promise you, your team might. I think the chance that your team FF this game is 30% lower if you were like 4-0, you know, 3 items above everyone else.
Yeah. The more ahead you are, the more likely your team is. Like I always told people that are in lower elo, like the reason why your team doesn't flame you as much when you're smurfing, like why you can win when you're smurfing, is because when you're ahead, you improve team morale.
Yeah, they respect you and they see that there's a win condition. So those two things tie to each other, right? So if you really want to raise morale, play really well, and then also maybe just type winnable once or twice, you know, or like I can carry. You know, that's a very powerful statement. Takes almost no time to type. You know, I can carry or can win. But don't like do. For example, you ask your Leona, can you please come top? I would just ping her assistance and then just ping 5 times on my way to enemy top tier 1, for example, instead of typing, and then you don't take away from that precious time that you have to look at the scoreboard and the minimap. Okay, this was the biggest play for me in the game, where you kind of lost your grip on the game a little bit. Enemy mid has prio. Enemy support is nowhere to be found. Your support, and here you're just trying to up your Jace. I think you can't write this off as my Jace made a mistake. You made a mistake, and you also made another mistake by helping the Jace make a mistake, essentially, right? You failed to recognize that LeBlanc could be here, and also you helped Jace, even though, you know, this shouldn't be a play.
So where do you go? So I pushed in my wave. I did my thing, and I pushed in my wave. Like, I guess just take a play, or what? Well, I mean, no, Vladimir would have been there. I could take a play. So what do you do?
Well, I just sit here. You just sit in this area, and then if the enemies come and the fight looks bad, you just move back. And if the enemies, you know, let's see LeBlanc shows up here somewhere, then you join the fight. So it's always dynamic. You use proximity again. You're close to this play and this here and this play at the same time if you're standing in this area, right?
I think that the biggest mistake for me here is I didn't even think about LeBlanc. Like it wasn't even on my mind.
That's a big. But also even then, you know, like the Orianna has prio. She pushed away first. She created numbers advantage. Yeah. She can come. It's a 3v2 anyway. But if you're standing here and you see that Orianna is moving, however, it's gonna take her 5 seconds. Then you can take the fight, you know, assuming that the fight will be over before Orianna's here. But it ended up being, you know, I think you let's say you see LeBlanc bot. I think you press ult a bit too late, whatever. Also, I mean, I'm not a mastery expert, right? So you can take this with a grain of salt. Isn't it better to walk into melee range and then after he flashes or dashes, then you Q?
Yeah, I should have blast planted into him and hit him a few times and then Q'd on the flash. Like sometimes I see myself like fucking doing these things, and it's like I've been playing this champ for 16 years and I still randomly do that sometimes. Yeah. Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, and then I mean, look how much you lose from this.
Yeah, that literally was like a very game-defining play.
Yeah, and so now this is the problem. So you had a lead, and I told you to like hold on to your lead, right? And I'm not giving you any blame or anything, right? I'm not looking down on you, but the problem here is like, let's say you had this mentality of like holding on to your lead and only taking good fights. Look at the gold swing. You were a lot of gold ahead of this Vlad. You were maybe 600. I don't know how much you were, but actually 1,000 or more probably at this point. Okay. By doing this death, you lost 1 or 2 waves. He gained those waves. Plus he got like 3 plates. So now the gold swing. What are the odds, if you didn't make that play compared to now, that you can still dive him on side lane 1v1? A lot lower. Right? A lot lower at least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Lee Sin would have been back on bot side. I'd have it controlled this wave right now.
yeah, the point I'm trying to make is like if you play more to hold on to your individual lead is worth a lot, because later on, guess what? You can split push, right?
They won't FF. Yeah, they won't FF.
Yeah, and they
That's
won't
likely
FF.
anyway.
Yes. Okay, so here, you ward first, then you go to the wave, Lee Sin's coming. And this is one of those things. Okay, so your jungler's bot, enemy jungler's top side, okay? The wave is pushing towards you, right? Slow pushing towards you. These camps here, whose camps are these?
Was Lee Sin not coming for those?
He was. Well, he didn't take them, but he's top side.
Yeah. He saw I left, so he didn't take them. Yeah, I was gonna take them. I don't know why I backed off of them.
Yeah, because you're scared your jungler's gonna get tilted, right? That's why.
Yeah, probably.
So you should be taking Krugs and red, because they're not Jace's camps, they're Lee Sin's camps. So you're taking enemy jungle camps right now. But again, I feel like you're kind of scared to like make your team get tilted, and that's why you don't take them. So I think that's like a mental barrier you have to get over, because you need to feed yourself this game.
Yeah.
You're playing Master
I
Yi.
see the Lee Sin came up through the lane. Yeah, I remember this part.
Yeah, so you should have totally taken those camps,
Yeah.
And now, okay, so this 2v2 happens. I think you could have played this a little bit better. I think you knew Lee Sin was here.
Yeah,
right?
I should have waited.
Yeah, just wait a little bit longer. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it worked out. But yeah, I did fuck up. Like when I went in, I'm like, well, I fucked up. I went in too early. But
yeah, well, now you know. I think that was winnable 2v2, and you end up losing it. Sucks, but
did we lose that? Oh yeah, did we? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, yeah, it's I mean, looking at this, I can understand why people blame their jungler, right? I'm not blaming my jungler, but like if everything that happened here was off the cuffs of me not being my own person and letting my jungler boss me around, right? Like
yeah,
I told him, I said, go take your camps, and then he came up top anyway, which we could have won that. If I played it better, we could have won it, right?
I think so, yeah. I think this is one of the examples where I think that you could have really taken this 2v2, and if you kill both of them here, you take a shot down, you get top tower, the game is suddenly winnable, So moments like these, gotta take some accountability, I'm not saying you're not, but it's important to realize that if you, played a little bit better, let's say you didn't die and lose all those waves top, you would have had more items, you would have maybe swung this in the right direction, etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking Lee Sin kick.
This 2v2 sealed the game for me. You lost your lead completely, almost completely, and now it's kind of hard to get a pressure side lane. So from this point on, the game was a little bit, it's hard to play, and then your team FF.
It was hard. Yeah.
But hey, if you keep this kind of intensity and keep focusing on these things, I guarantee that you will climb very high, because I actually think that mechanically you're a good player, and Master Yi has a lot of potential on top lane because of the fact that he can both split push and team fight. So you have multiple playstyles. It's gonna be hard to recognize when you do which, but that will come with experience and reviewing, taking accountability and stuff. It's up to you at this point, and I think that's the end of the review. Do you have any questions?
But there, I do want you to know there is some trauma from the past days of Korea. Okay, this server has beaten me up, but I will try to get around it. I will try to maybe full mute them, but keep my chat open so I can maybe compliment like oh we can win, right? But I will full mute them, because really it's not very often that they actually say useful things to me.
Exactly. I mean, even in Challenger, brother, people don't say useful things. Some people track cooldowns. That's like 1 in 10 games. Here's the thing. If I were you, I would keep chat open, but every game to do 2 things. 1, get a ward, and 2, mute everyone's chat but not their pings. And then you can still say to them things such as can win and stuff. And then well, I mean, I'm not gonna assume that you get good at all the things I told you to improve on in one go. But at least now you should have a good idea of like what your weaknesses are as a player, and mostly it's like overcompensating for your team's mistakes and not really playing for yourself. I think that's the biggest thing. And I'm sorry that you're traumatized from that. It sucks to hear. I can understand that it's like your view of the game kind of really changes from that. But I want you to look at the game as like you're the main character, because you're playing a champion that requires a lot of resources to be useful. So you're the main character. Think about yourself before you save others, right? Like, I mean, a superhero can't save other people if he's not strong himself, right? Have you seen One Punch Man?
I started it, but I didn't finish it. No.
You know the guy on the bike? The chat will know what I mean. Like the guy on the bike, Moonman Rider, bro. This guy won't save anyone because he's weak himself, But if you're if you're Saitama, you're gonna save everyone because you're just one-shotting everyone, right? That's kind of the mentality you need to have. Anyway, I'm a weeb.
That's okay. We've been cool.